and I still kept it 100. Yeah, it's been a long time coming. They ain't covering my cloth, they tugging. Putting up numbers, 99 pounds, and I still kept it 100. Yeah, who don't play, 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 who don't play.
Music licensing reimagined.
Play, who don't play, 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 who don't play, 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 who don't. Long time coming, black on the bottom of my feet from running. Cataracts under my eyes from hustling. Going from buying to selling to customers. Run up the business, God is my witness. Turn up the sun up from Monday to Sunday. We maxing the limits. My mind running like Tom Cruise on an action movie. Moving the mission, they say that I'm tripping. I've been told I need a vacation. I'm finessing a visit.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to DFS by the Numbers, and welcome to Stat Diggers for UFC Freedom 250. We have Ilia Topuria going against Justin Gaethje. We have a very special 7-fight card and 7 bangers. I mean, I'm looking forward to every single fight on this card. We got some incredible fights like Topuria Gaethje. Can't wait for that. Hokit Lewis is a fight they added late, and thank goodness they did, because that's one of my favorite fights on the entire card. And we're kicking off the card with an absolute banger of Diego Lopes versus Steve Garcia. And it's going to be an interesting fight with Weezy. These fights are taking place on Sunday at 8 o'clock, which means you might have to call off work Monday morning. I mean, I don't want to get up for work Monday. So, yeah, looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. What's up, Weezy? Looking forward to UFC Freedom 250.
I am, man. 7 great fights, and it'll be really interesting to see how it all works out, what the logistics are, how it shows up on TV. It looks pretty majestic, you know, with the crab thing over the octagon. It's going to be a wild, unique event, kind of like a Sphere type of feel, I think, where you're just going to have 7 bomb fights and probably a lot of high production value stuff going on between the fights as well. So I'm really looking forward to the spectacle of it all, and most of all to the high level fights that are on this card, going from the opening fight where you've got Diego Lopes going up against Steve Garcia, which is, you and I were talking about how fantastic that matchmaking is. You know, we got the return of Cyril Gane after about 9 months facing Pereira, who's moving up to heavyweight for a title fight. We've got, you know, Ilia Topuria and Justin Gaethje squaring off for the lightweight title. A ton of great fights. So I'm looking forward to breaking it down with you, everybody else here on the show.
Me as well. Why go live during the game? Why is the game going live during us?
That doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Yeah, and why watch a bunch of candy asses who don't play defense and flop all over the place anyway?
Yeah, like who cares? Who cares
Yeah.
about basketball? We got freaking UFC Freedom 250. You won't get 200 views. Only real fans gonna tap in. That's all we need. All we need is the real fans, man.
Yeah.
We don't want no fake fans in here. We don't want no fake fans. All right. Before we get into it, guys, we got to shout out our sponsors. The sponsors are the guys that are keeping the show alive, keeping us showing up. And the first sponsor is going to be Underdog Fantasy. Right now, if you go to Underdog and use code DFSBTN, you'll get $50 in bonus funds when you play with your first $5 lineup. Underdog has out I believe it's either a 30 or 40% boost right now, and they have out everything for UFC Freedom 250. A lot of spots sticking out, and we and Weezy will be talking about it at the end of the show. The other sponsor is going to be the Big Brain MMA Discord. Shout out to Steve for sponsoring the show. Check out his Discord to gain access to its community full of tons of sharps, betting multiple different MMA promotions and other sports, including UFC Freedom 250. Thank you, Big Steve, for sponsoring the show and supporting the show. Go check out Big Steve and his Discord and his sharp community of fellas. But at the very least, guys, go click the link in the description. You'll find Big Steve's YouTube channel. Go hit him with a like. Go hit him with a subscribe. And he actually just got done putting out his early breakdown for UFC Freedom 250. I'll be checking that out tomorrow. So go check him out. Thank you, Big Steve, for sponsoring the show. All right. We're going to do a really quick recap of UFC Vegas 118. We're not going to go too in-depth because we got more important things to talk about, Weezy, but there's some breaking news here. Here it is. Breaking news. Where's it at?
What happened to the breaking news, dude?
Looks like my producer.
Oh, no.
There it is. Breaking news.
Yes.
The wagons are circling. I came on here 6 weeks ago, And the wagons they fell off. People were dying. The children were hungry. They were thirsty. There was not civilization for miles. I thought we were dead in the water. And since then, I'm on a 5-event win streak, hoping to make it 6 at UFC Freedom 250. And I hated last week's card. I hated it from a betting perspective. I hated it. But there were some spots sticking out. So my night came down to my parlay. I had a 3-unit parlay. The first leg was Costa Schnell under 2.5 rounds. Check. The second leg was Barnitsky Tafa under 1.5 rounds. Check. It came out to like minus 147. 3 units on it. I mean, that was about as sweat free as it's going to get.
Yeah.
I kind of upset. Like, the only thing I had in the Costa fight was the under 2.5 in that parlay. Like, it feels like kind of like a missed opportunity. But the odds maker said like the under 1.5. I think at like minus 170 at one point. And I was like, it's a flyweight fight, but it's a Matt Schnell fight. Unfortunately, Weezy, it's going to be the last time we're going to get to fade the absolutely shit durability of Matt Schnell. Yeah. He's been finished it 10 times now. Is it 10 or 11? I think it might be 10 or 11 now.
I think it's 11 losses, 10 finishes.
Oh God, who's the one guy that didn't finish him? That guy should go to jail.
I don't know. I think it was on the regional scene, actually.
Oh God, that guy should be in prison right now. But anyway, 10 finish losses. Weezy, we're never going to get another opportunity to fade the durability of Matt Schnell, maybe, because this I think is his 5th retirement. So maybe we will. I don't know. And then I also had the fight won't start round 2 in Barnitsky Tafa, also very, very sweat free as well. So. I had 4.5 units on the Barnitsky Tafa fight. And yeah, I mean, Tafa, this guy can't defend leg kicks. I mean, if you're fighting Tafa, just kick his leg. I mean, even Kevin Christian hurt him to the leg. I think Tafa's in serious trouble. Like, if anybody has a half a brain, they're going to kick his leg, and then the fight's probably over at this point. I had a 1-unit shot on Joanderson Brito to win inside the distance. He got the submission. I did pick the submission, didn't bet it. It was like plus 500, but Brito ITD came through. I had the Chavez Dubin fight ends by KO at plus 160. I think that was a very bad bet. If anything, Chavez was very live for the submission. She almost got it. She should have got it. And it was very disappointed with Jesla Chavez. Like, you're not going to get an easier matchup in the UFC. So really worried about Chavez going forward. And then I had some sprinkles in the co-main and the main. I sprinkled the Allen 2-3 sub. He didn't even try to wrestle, really. He attempted a couple half-ass takedowns. To finish Edmund, you got to grapple him. That went 15. And then I had 3-4-5 for Bilal. I wasn't going to play his finish props because he's a decisionator, but they were massive prices. And they caught my eye. But yeah, obviously horrible bets. But ended up going up 2.5 units on a card where I didn't have much action. So I was very happy with how it played out, because I really did not like the card from a betting perspective. Weezy, how did UFC Vegas 118 go for you?
It was a solid week for me, up 3.4 units. I think I was 8-4 on my picks. My probability best bets were up 6.7 units with like a big return on investment. So, solid reads. I missed on a lot of small sprinkles. Like, I had Edgar Chairez by KO at plus 460. That was a great bet. It just, he knocked him down twice, and then he locked onto the submission. So that one didn't hit. But the other sprinkles were nowhere close to hitting. Tafa by KO in round 1 for a quarter unit, not even close.
And that was close.
What's that?
That was close.
No, he didn't. He knocked himself out. The guy probably came into the octagon on one leg. Luna by submission was not close for a quarter unit at plus 1,500. And then I had a quarter unit on Bilal Muhammad to win in rounds 4 or 5 at plus 997. Nowhere close. Some good bets, though. I had fight goes to decision for Brendan Allen versus Edmund Shabazian. And what my read was there was that Brendan's wrestling, I didn't think he was going to be able to get Edmund down. And so I thought it was going to be a distance striking battle that went the distance. And that's how it wound up working out. So that was a 1-unit bet at plus 180 that cashed. I had a 2-leg parlay. My probability parlay had the under 1.5 rounds for the Baraneski fight, parlayed with the over 1.5 rounds for the Fares Ziam fight. That was a 1.5 unit bet at like minus 110. So that cashed. I had 1 unit on Joanderson Brito to win inside the distance. at plus 160. So that cashed. The hardest click that I had to make this week was the Bryce Mitchell money line, 2 units minus 122. The tape on Luna was just so good, but I made the bet based on strength of schedule. You look at the last 5 opponents for Bryce Mitchell. If you go to the last 6, you get Ilia Topuria in there, and then you compare that to the guys that Luna was facing, and I just had to have faith in the strength of schedule difference and the physicality difference that would help Bryce get the grappling advantage, and he looked great. That was the hardest click, but probably my best bet of the week. So that was a nice hit there. And then, I don't think it was a bad bet, but boy, oh boy, was it a dog shit performance by Belal Muhammad, Brady. He's done. He's turbo washed. It's absolutely over for him. And I don't know how to explain that. Like, I was sitting there stewing after the event, because if Belal had showed up and pressured and given himself a chance to win, this could have been like a 7-unit win for me this week. But I was like looking for the right words, and I did tweet, and I said, like, Belal looks terrible tonight. There's no pace, there's no pressure, there's no wrestling. He's on the back foot, and he's trying to box with nothing but 1-2s. I don't know what that was. But like somebody else on Twitter put it perfectly. I don't know who to credit for this, but basically what this individual said was Belal Muhammad scratched and clawed his way up the rankings for a decade in the UFC to finally become champion. And then once he got that belt, he decided, fuck it, I am going to be a shitty boxer from now on, and I am not going to wrestle. I'm not going to pressure. I'm not going to show any urgency. And I thought the performance in the Ian Gary fight, he was pressuring there. He was trying to put Ian on the back foot, close the distance against the taller, longer guy. He didn't do that at all against Gabriel. He didn't wrestle. He didn't get out on the front foot. He didn't throw any volume. And I don't know if it's just that he doesn't care anymore, or if it's somebody else had suggested when I tweeted that, he's off the roids now is what they were saying. I don't know, but, maybe that's the case. Maybe this just, he was peaking for that, like the Brady fight and the Leon Edwards fight and the Burns fight. But after that, maybe he wasn't on the same sauce or what. I don't know. But whatever that was, man, it was pitiful. It was absolutely pitiful. So, yeah, that was embarrassing, having a 2-unit bet on Belal Muhammad and then watching him go out there and look like he has never pressured in his life, never boxed, never wrestled. He couldn't take down Bonfim. Guy's a BJJ player. You can't take that guy down, really? I couldn't believe that. So, but that was a bummer. But up 3.4 units, so I'll take it.
I was very happy with how last week played out, because I hated the card and barely had any bets on it. So I do have more action this week already, and it's a Monday because they dropped props for this card like a month ago, which was awesome. So yeah, and a lot of spots sticking out. So we'll talk about it. What is up, everybody in the chat? Let's see who the first one in here was. And by the way, you can vote to see who needs to get some help. I put Fares, the parlay killer, Zion. I put Belal, Canelo Hands, Muhammad, Matt, in danger, Schnell, and Junior, the Juggernaut, Tafa. So be sure to vote for the 4, and we'll see who needs to get help. We got Pedro first one in the building. What is up? We got Jake in the building as well. What's good, Jake? We got Carlos. Yeah, Matt Schnell retired for the 6th time of his career. Let's see if he comes back. Priscilla Cachoeira needs on the poll, potentially. She did show off that new BJJ brown belt. Oh, gosh. In all seriousness, why are Tafa and Schnell on the roster? Well, Schnell's retired, I guess. And Tafa, I don't know. I think Tafa is one of those guys they just kind of like for some reason. I don't know. It's Top Tour Fight Week, guys. Someone tell Connor, let's go. Looking forward to it. Elijah, one in the building. What is up? Gonna be fun watching these guys fight under umbrellas and in rain gear. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be humid. It's gonna be hot. Tafa is terrible, but Belal lost the plot. Yeah, I didn't watch much of the fight, but That's just bad. 50-45 times 3 is just bad. Toph is embarrassing. This man is really chinny to the leg. He's like his legs are like Matt Schnell's chin. It's that bad, man. It's that bad. Some great options for who needs to get help this week. Yeah, a bunch of people do. We got Dan. What's up, Dan? Schnell retired and Bilal was 38. Those are legit excuses. What Zion did requires major help. Yeah, I was kind of at a loss for words because this was the one time where I was like finally giving Zion his flowers. I'm like, yeah, this guy's really good. Top 10 upside. He goes out there and loses to Tom Nolan. I was like, what is going on? Thank goodness I didn't have any money on it. I would have been pissed because I'm always looking to fade for a Zion. I mean, that was bad. That guy Bilal went from champion to what we just saw on Saturday. He needs serious help and a new job. Yeah, it's bad, man. All those people need help. Yeah, I agree. That's why they're on the poll. It's crazy. Let's party, boys. Let's do it. Big card, lots of low-hanging fruit. Let's go, Chama. Let's go. Canelo Hands needs the more than help. It needs to be traded to the PFL for Dakota Dacheva. Imagine a UFC with Dakota and Bilal out of it. That'd be fun. That'd be good. Yeah. Bilal's officially washed. For him to think that he could win with only a striking is crazy. Dude needs to be cut. Yeah, I agree. Let's cut Bilal. Let's cut him out. Why not? I'm late, Brady Weezy. It could be either of yours. Either of ours what? I don't know. What's up, Blue? Surprise Schnell is only at 9%. Maybe because people no. I mean, everybody knows Schnell needs help. And this guy's been finished, 50 times. He's a flyweight. So, yeah, Schnell definitely needs help. And people were saying that was a bad stoppage. I mean, what? How much damage do you need this poor guy to take? He shouldn't have been there in the first place. He took 20 to 30 shots to the side of the head. How's that bad?
He was blocking a lot of them, but he also wasn't moving at all. And it wasn't until after the ref stepped in to stop the fight that he started wrestling again and looked like he was ready to go. But it was the ref that stopped the guy from punching that caused him to be able to get, turn on that takedown. So, yeah, I mean, I think it was a pretty good stoppage, and it's Matt Schnell. If you're a referee, you can't be like, I was waiting for Schnell to kind of come back from that because he's so durable. You can't do that. They'll sue you. Everybody knows the guy's got no chin.
Yeah, I just wish it was Tyone reference so we could dunk on him again, but they didn't let him. Let's go, my boys. This is by far the most entertaining UFC breakdown show going. Hit the like button, fellas. Appreciate that, my guy. Matt Schnell retired. Bilal should retire. Tafa should never show his face anywhere near combat sports again. Zion just needs help and lots of it. I would tend to agree with all of that. We were actually on time tonight as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
On time every time. Let's smash the like button and get one sign up on Underdog for Brother Brady and Uncle Weezy. Let's do it. It's a big card. We should be able to get at least 100 likes. I know the stupid basketball game is going on, but it's a stupid basketball game. This is much more important. We got UFC Freedom 250 to talk about. What's the over-under on rain canceling at least part of this event? Apparently there's like a cover for the rain, so I don't think it's going to be an issue, but it's going to be interesting to see how it all works out. Odds on Ilia KO just dropped -230 to -205. Everybody's on the KO. Red Sox, let's party, let's do it. We got Colby, let's go. Sunday at 8 is dumb. Yeah, would prefer is on a Saturday, but yeah, Sunday at 8.
Yeah, it's just it's a special event. So they're doing this is the first card that has not been on a Saturday since the COVID era when we got a couple of Wednesday cards. You remember that?
Yeah.
I remember there was a Michael Chiesa versus Neil Magny main event, if I'm not mistaken. That was on a Wednesday. And I remember taking third in a DraftKings tournament for that actual card. So that was wild, So yeah, this is a rare treat to get it on any other day but a Saturday, and it probably won't happen again for a very long time.
It just sucks. I got to wake up early on Monday. It's like, dang.
Yeah, that does suck.
Yeah, because they're going to take their time.
I'm calling in sick. I'm definitely calling in sick. I'm going to say that the gout is acting up, and I'm.
I wish I could. I got to be a dad Monday morning. Oh, God.
Oh, you can't call in sick from that.
You can't. You just
can't.
Yeah,
dude.
You just can't. So I got to get up early. My son woke up at 6:30 in the morning today.
Jeez. My parents would have probably called the hospitals if I ever woke up at 6:30. They had to get me out of bed with a crane every morning, even when I was like super young.
Jeez, I wish I had that problem, man. Oh gosh. Bilal, remember the wrestling Muhammad? He completely forgot the wrestling. I'm done. I'm done with Bilal Muhammad. Done with him. Basketball sucks. I was actually watching a ton of basketball this playoffs, but once the Cavs got eliminated and the Lakers, like, started to lose interest real fast. True easy basketball sucks in 2026. Yeah, I tend to agree. I tend to agree it does. I hate Varazayam this week. I mean, this guy probably ruined thousands of parlays, Wheezy.
Dude, our guy MMA Racks had something like a 14-leg parlay that got ruined. So not 14 legs. It's not that much, but it was a huge parlay that got ruined. Like, he had Gabriel Bonfim in the main event. You know, like he had a multiple leg parlay that got ruined by CM. And shout out MMA Racks for stepping in on the live watch along and doing a phenomenal job.
Yep, shout out to George. I was producing the last several fights. I was doing pretty good producing up until the main event. Then I kind of started slacking off a little bit, but I don't think anybody cared because the fight sucked from what I could tell.
It was brutal.
Yeah. Zion trashed my parlay. Yeah. I'm glad I didn't I thought about parlaying him. And if I did, I don't know if I'd be here right now. Because I've trashed on Zion for so long. And then I finally gave him credit, and look what he did, Wheezy.
Yeah, I know.
Look what he did. Crazy. Zion's a bum. Oh, gosh. Yeah, credit to Tom, for sure. But you got to be, if you're far as Zion, you got to be beating Tom Nolan. Like, come on, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, credit to Tom. Chavez versus Catlin. Catlin would destroy Chavez. Over 60% ROI on Weezy's best bets is pretty dang good. Pretty dang good. Textbook milking by Allen. Not really. That's not the best milking in the world. A milking would be Bryce Mitchell. That was a milking. Yes, that's a textbook milking. You controlled him for 14 and a half minutes and then subbed him. That was a beautiful milking by Mitchell. But yeah, you guys got the pick right. Brendan Allen to milk Edmund Shabazian. And the piping was great as well. Alessandro Costa to pipe match now on
good
site.
Good work, guys.
Very good work. Very, very good work.
And by the way, one more thing, Brady.
Yep.
I've talked about it a number of times. I will tweet about it occasionally. The importance of walkout music. The importance of good walkout music is not as important as not walking out to terrible music. Okay? You walk out to Eminem, it's a guaranteed loss. Okay? You walk out to AC/DC, guaranteed loss. Okay? Those guys suck. But when you walk out to Splish Splash, I was taking a bath. So we're watching the watch along and Bilal's doing the walkout. And, because I always have it on mute, MMA Racks like, wow, that's an interesting choice of walkout song. I'm like, what's he walking out to? And he goes, that Splish Splash, I was taking a bath song. I was like, yeah, what's he walking out to? He goes, that. And I'm like, no. And I remember like muting, checking, and being like, no way. And I was like, dude, I gotta get out of my bed. I said, I gotta get out of my bed. I mean, you cannot walk out to Splish Splash. I was taking a bath when you're about to fight 5 rounds against Gabriel Bonfim in a small cage. What was he doing there? Guys, young fighters, prick up your ears. Walkout music is important. That's how you announce yourself to the world and to the people that are watching your fight. You don't walk out to Splish Splash, I was making a bath. Who let him do that? If I was Dana White, I'd be like, dude, pick another song. This is the UFC. That is so dumb, and then he fought exactly like somebody you would think would walk out to that song.
Yeah, no, I agree. Bad walkout music and long walkouts with dancing involved. I also don't like. Like, why are you dancing? Like,
didn't Uniasi Dubin got served? She did dance a lot on that walkout,
the whole way out, and they were doing the putting the Vaseline on. She was dancing during the Vaseline.
Yeah.
just legs like Chanel's chin is amazing. Yeah, it's true. I mean, he's so chinny to the legs. I mean, Lima got him to the legs. Kevin Christian hurt him to the legs. Iwo knocked him out to the legs. I mean, this guy Tafa, his legs are chinny, man. I've got Topuria shorts from the Emmett fight framed in my office, hoping to see the value jump up more with the main event win at the White House. So that's incredible. Threw a half unit on Lewis for kicks. I'd say take his KO prop, but I think it's the same exact price as the money line. Like I look, or at least the inside the distance was. I was looking at that today. So Lewis inside Lewis money line was plus 355, and Lewis inside the distance was literally plus 355. It's hilarious. Oh gosh. Dear Brandon Weezy, I'm filing a lawsuit against Iwu for lying to the public, making everyone believe he's going to grapple and sub. Dude, it was hilarious, Dixon. There was like I watched 5 or 6 interviews of Iwu saying he's going to grapple. He called for a takedown and a finish on the mat. His coach was talking about how he's going to grapple. And I've never seen a sub prop get obliterated the way it did in the Iwu fight. The sub one opened up at plus 1,200. It closed at like plus 400. The sub got smashed, and he wins by leg kick TK. It was absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Had 3 units, Bonfim by decision. He really
nice
is
hit.
washed like Israel Adesanya. That is a nice hit because I was not expecting a Bonfim decision, especially at 50-45. It was crazy.
You know who that is, by the way? You know who Jerry Milley is?
Who's that?
That's Bilal Muhammad's burner account right there. He had 3 units on Bonfim by decision. Congratulations, Bilal. You nailed that one.
Oh gosh. Wrong. Brady was a textbook standing up milk. Yeah, I just would have liked to see the finish, but nah. Dubon would look better at the Mid-City Strip Club than the effing Octagon. Well, that's kind of messed up, man. I mean, she didn't look as bad as I thought.
No, she won round 3.
She somehow won round 3.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, not a bad performance. I really wasn't expecting her. If you were to say, what are the chances are if this thing goes to round 3 that Dubin's going to win it, I'd have been like, man, maybe 10%, like, she just hasn't shown good conditioning because we haven't seen her go deep into fights. So yeah, that was admirable winning that. And I thought she performed a little bit better than I expected her to. So
smash the like button. Yeah, and I saw Forrest earlier. If we get, let's see, we're at 35 likes right now, which is pathetic. If we get 150 likes by the time we break down the Lopes fight, I'll put on the Lopes wig and I'll sing a jingle for you guys. But we need 150 likes by the time we break down that fight. So we got some work to do because, like I said, I think we're at 35 right now.
Yeah, and that's the first fight we're breaking down. So
is it?
It's the first fight on the card.
Oh crap! Oh crap!
So hit that like button.
I don't know why I forgot. Like brain fart there. I don't know why I forgot.
It should never be the first fight on any card.
That's
Diego
why I
Lopes
forgot.
Versus Steve Garcia. That's how spoiled we are this week.
All right, so I'm not putting on the wig unless you guys get the work in the next 2 minutes. All right, let's see who needs to get help. Here we go. Let's end the poll here. All right, who needs to get some help? In 4th place, believe it or not, Matt in Danger Schnell at 7%. Wow.
Yeah.
In 3rd place, believe it or not, Junior the Juggernaut Tafa at 20%. At 2nd place, believe it or not, Bilal Canelo Hands Muhammad at 32%. And in 1st place, Faraz the Parlay Killer Zaim at 41%.
Wow. Yeah, that's how you know he killed parlays. Because that was actually kind of a close fight. If he hadn't have slipped in the 2nd round, he might have actually won that fight. But he got a little sloppy and got taken down in rounds 1 and 2 and lost enough minutes on the mat to not let the striking make up for it. And yeah, minus 300 favorite on a big winning streak, 6-fight winning streak gets snapped by Tom Nolan, and not in the way you'd think it would be. It was with his grappling that he was able to do it.
Yep. Thank goodness I did not bet that fight, but oh God, I couldn't.
I had the over, but I thought I parlayed the Ziam money line, but I just parlayed the over 1.5 because the over 1.5 was minus 205, and the Ziam money line was minus 300. And the only Ziam fight that had ended in round 1 was the Terrence McKinney fight. And every Terrence McKinney fight, ends in round 1 pretty much. So I figured that was a pretty good over to go with, and to get it at a much better price than the Ziam money line, I was glad to parlay that out.
Yeah, that was smart. I couldn't believe how bad like the Ziam finish props were. They were abysmal. Like you were barely getting like plus money on the finish. It's like,
yeah,
God. All right, but let's talk UFC Freedom 250, which is going to be absolutely incredible. And we're kicking it off with a phenomenal fight. I was telling Louise, like, if I was a matchmaker and I'm sitting there, I'm like, this is the fight I'm putting together. I'm putting Diego Lopes versus Steve Garcia. This is going to be an absolutely banger to kick off the card. We got Diego Lopes, who is 31 years old, 5'11" with a 72-inch reach. Steve Garcia is 34 years old, 6 foot with a 75-inch reach. Lopes is 3 years younger. Garcia has a 1-inch height advantage and a 3-inch reach advantage. Diego Lopes is 3-2 in his last 5 fights. Beat Dan Ige by decision, beat Brian Ortega by decision, lost to Alexander Volkanovski by decision, beat Gene Silva by a second-round knockout, and then lost to Alexander Volkanovski in the rematch by decision. As far as Steve Garcia is 5-0 in his last 5 fights. He knocked out Mel Costa in round 2. He knocked out Sung Woo Choi in round 1, Kyle Nelson in round 1, beat Calvin Kattar by decision, and then beat David Onama by knockout in round 1. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a banger. I think it's going to be a very fun fight. I think we're going to get back to seeing Lopes be in fun fights, because those 2 Volkanovski fights, they weren't fun to me. They just weren't fun fights. He tried to go out there and, like, out-technical Volkanovski across 25 minutes, and then they rematched, and he didn't really make any adjustments. I mean, we were kind of furious at him in that rematch. Just like, what are you doing, Diego? You were just in there with this guy for 25 minutes, and now you're going to repeat that exact performance. So, I did not love those fights, but I think it's going to be fun. It's a Steve Garcia fight. This guy's looking to throw down. I don't think Garcia is going to be looking to grapple. That would be stupid. He would get subbed if he did. So I think these guys are going to swing dicks. I think this guy's going to stand in the middle and bang. And I think it's going to come down to who has the bigger dick between these two. So, Weezy, who do you think has the bigger dick between Diego Lopes and Steve Garcia?
I can't wait for this fight. Do me a favor, share my screen with the audience here, so we can kind of. This is a big card, so I'm going to share all my stats with you guys and do it in a more visually pleasing way. Are we? I can't tell if we're
live.
shared.
Yep.
All right, fantastic.
There
So you could see, like, Diego Lopez's horrible haircut in terrifying detail there.
That's bad, man. That looks like the Tybura haircut.
It's a bad one. It's a bad one, you guys. And, and like, that's how his fight IQ looks. It looks that bad. But this guy is minus 155 here. He's over 60% implied against Steve Garcia. When we look at the tail of the tape, you got Lopes 2.5 years younger, but Garcia's got the 1-inch height and the 3-inch reach advantage, in addition to being the southpaw in this southpaw versus orthodox matchup. Both of these guys are really experienced. 24 fights for Garcia, 35 for Lopes. But it's Lopes who's been a lot more active, has more cage minutes as a professional. But at the UFC level, they have a similar amount of fights, but it's Lopes who's got more cage minutes and a shorter layoff. When we talk about the strength of schedule here, these guys are ranked pretty far apart, actually. Diego Lopes has got 9 UFC fights, and I got him ranked number 9 out of 97 in the division when it comes to the level of competition that this guy's facing. While Garcia, while he's been fighting good fighters in the last 2 or 3 fights, when you go before that, you see some of the worst guys on the roster that were his opponents. So this is a big step up in competition for Steve Garcia, just based on the metrics here. Diego's wins rate better, his losses rate better, and his overall numbers are considered elite for the division, while Steve Garcia isn't even ranked in the top half of the division in strength of schedule. Distance striking, this is where it's going to get interesting, right? Because both of these guys have power, Brady, but there's a big durability difference, right? Steve Garcia has been knocked down 5 times at the UFC level. You could see that number right here. Now he has 8 knockdowns, so the guy's got crazy power. 1.99 knockdowns per 15 minutes, 0.7 knockdowns per 15 minutes for Diego Lopes. So Steve Garcia has more power, but he's definitely the more chinny guy. But the other difference is the volume. Garcia throwing 18.5 distance strike attempts per minute, while his opponents only throw 8.81 in Lopes. So Garcia throws on more than twice as many distance strike attempts per minute. He really slows down the output of his opponents. They're only throwing about 10 distance strike attempts against him. And he's way better defensively at range with a 70% defense and a positive 4.51 distance striking differential for Garcia, while Lopes negative 1.3 distance striking differential. So I think that that's really interesting. I think it paints a really interesting picture of, while Lopes does have a ton of power just like Garcia does, and we know that he's the much more durable guy and that Garcia's got a much less dependable chin, the numbers show that Garcia is a lot more accurate. He throws a lot more strikes and is a lot more defensively responsible. So I kind of feel like Garcia is going to have a really good chance to win minutes at range, because guess what? Diego Lopes sucks at winning minutes. He put on his minute winning displays against Alexander Volkanovski. It was absolutely tragic to watch. After getting dusted for 5 straight rounds in the first fight, he goes out there and says, here's going to be my game plan that's going to be different from the first fight where nothing worked. Instead of fighting in my dominant stance, I'm going to go out there and fight southpaw in my dominant stance, so I have less power and even worse defense. And it worked out predictably, exactly like you would think, where he had no fucking success at all. Now, when it comes to the grappling here, neither one of these guys is probably going to offensively wrestle much. Lopes very rarely offensively wrestles. Neither does Steve Garcia. They both average less than 1 takedown per fight. Garcia, a lot less efficient, as he's allowing 41.4% control time allowed to his opponents, while Lopes is winning 45% of the control time at positions in his fights. Garcia's only winning 30%. So I think Lopes definitely has the better tools, definitely the better moment winning ability in the in the grappling exchanges because of the submission grappling upside that he has. But the likelihood of him being able to get takedowns, is not great. He might be able to find a dominant position in a scramble or off a knockdown, though. Both of these guys do pretty well in terms of their return on investments. 26% for Lopes, 70% for Garcia. They both have impressive records, but it's Garcia who's done a much better job of outperforming market expectations. So he's got like 130% ROI as an underdog, a 30% ROI as a favorite, and a really impressive 70% ROI over 10 UFC fights. But Lopes is no slouch either, with a 57% ROI when he's priced as a favorite. He's 4-0. So as good as these guys are in their roles, I would say that Garcia has done a better job overall of outperforming the market expectations. When it comes to momentum, I see Lopes kind of being neutral. He's coming off of 2 straight title losses where he went out there and basically pissed away an opportunity. He landed a really nice spinning back elbow against Gene Silva. Won a dominant round 1 in that fight, but was getting his ass handed to him in round 2 before he landed that elbow. And then before that, he was running through some really top-notch competition like Brian Ortega, Dan Ige. And then when we look at how he's been performing in comparison to market expectations, he's got about a 20% ROI over his last 5 fights. Cashing is a plus 205 dog versus Gene Silva. And, economically, Cashing minus 260 versus Ige, minus 173 versus Ortega. Neither of those fights were particularly close, if I remember correctly. So, I think that Lopes is doing pretty good there outside of the Volkanovski fights, while Garcia's on a 7-fight win streak, strong positive career trajectory, strong positive recency bias, and 15-1 to the knockout, but 4 wins and 4 losses to the decision or the submission. So he hasn't been the most reliable minute winner. So you can unshare my screen now, Brady. And I'm going to escape out of there. So I'm thinking for this fight that I like either a Lopes KO or a Lopes finish prop. And very surprisingly, I like a Steve Garcia decision prop. It's a big number this week. And in my opinion, I think he's got the better tools to win minutes because Diego Lopes's fight IQ is rock bottom. So he's unlikely to throw a lot of volume. He's unlikely to pressure, and he's unlikely to mix in the grappling because he doesn't know how to use his advantages in order to be able to win minutes. And Garcia is going to throw more and be more defensively responsible at range. So Garcia decision at better than plus 500, Brady. Really interesting number in my opinion, as is Diego Lopes KO at plus 270.
Yeah, I think I agree. Like Garcia should be the minute winner, but is Lopes a shit minute winner, or did he fight Volkanovski for 50 minutes? You know.
Well, he's a shit minute winner in my opinion because he had no idea how to game plan against a guy like Volkanovski.
Well, nobody does.
Well, I mean, I guess. I mean, but Bilal Muhammad kind of showed the same type of fight IQ in this last fight against Bonfim as Lopes showed against Volkanovski by not pressuring and not mixing in the grappling. You know, I think that pressuring is something that you have to do against Volkanovski because he's very good at winning minutes at range, and Lopes never made that adjustment. He never figured that out.
Yeah, that's fair. Me personally, I'm throwing those fights out of here. I mean, Garcia's not Volkanovski, but yeah, for me, it comes down to durability. I think it's going to be a war. Like, I don't think they're going to go out there and point fight there in a battle of durability. I'm leaning Lopes. I mean, this guy has next level durability, and I think people are kind of forgetting about how chinny Steve Garcia is because he hasn't got hit lately. I mean, David Onama through the fight, he bet against himself, and David Onama landed 2 strikes. Kyle Nelson landed 1 strike. Sungwoo Choi didn't even get to 10. Mel Costa didn't even get to 10 strikes, but you see that Shalian Beke knocked him down. Shalian's a grappler. Mahashate knocked him down twice whilst only landing 7 strikes. That's crazy to me. And then Charlie Ontiveros dropped him 3 times. He only counted 2, but he hurt him 3 times while only landing 7 strikes there. So I just don't think he's going to be able to take these big shots from Lopes. If he does, like you said, it's Garcia by decision, could be in play. But my hot take of the week is I think Lopes not only knocks out Garcia, but does it within the first 2 minutes. That's my hot take of the week.
Yeah, I don't mind it at all because there is just a massive difference in durability here, you know? So I think Lopes really needs to show a ton of aggression. It doesn't matter if he gets taken down. His Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is way better than Garcia's. His chin is way more dependable than Garcia's, and he can match Garcia's power. So, yeah, if he fights that's a big if for me. You know, if he fights smart, I think that minus 155 is very short, as a matter of fact. I think he could look minus 300 here if he just goes out there and throws caution to the wind and trusts his chin, which was standing up to clean shot after clean shot from Gene Silva. You know, so I mean, if you can handle that, I think that you can handle enough clean shots from Steve Garcia to find that one shot that drops him like Charlie Ontiveros did 3 different times, that like Mahashate did twice, like Shah Yalan did. So like you mentioned, man, this guy does not take big shots well, and Diego Lopes got a head like a cannonball. So I think that if Lopes fights smart, he's going to look really, really good here.
I don't even think he needs to fight smart, though. It's like Garcia's not going to skirt on the outside, use footwork. And
what about the Cater fight?
And avoid him. Yeah, that's true. But Cater's so washed.
Cater's washed, but he didn't just wade into the fighter against Calvin.
Yeah. I guess he could do. I hope he doesn't do. I hope it's a fun fight.
No, it should be. Like that would be wild if he came out there and tried to point fight like he did against Cater, because it gives him his best chance to win, but it's also the first fight on the White House card.
No, I agree.
And you're fighting Diego Lopes. So you get a win in this fight. I think Steve Garcia probably will go for it, but still, dude, plus 510 on the decision prop. I'm telling you, man, if he just decides to be like, you know what? I'm going to box with this guy and I'm going to try to outpoint him while looking for the big shot to present itself. He's going to beat this dude by decision if that's how he fights and if Lopes allows it to happen by just standing in front of him.
Yeah, it could happen. But yeah, I was shocked to see the violence number so playable. I mean, there's 7 fights on this card. This is the fifth most likely fight to finish, and in my opinion, it's like the most violent fight on the card. So we got plus money on the unders. So yeah, maybe it's a trap, but I'll be falling for it. I think somebody's probably getting served here, and I think that somebody's probably Steve Garcia. I just think his chin's so bad, but we'll see. We'll see. I think the money line's going to keep closing. A lot of people are on Steve Garcia, and hopefully money keeps coming in on these overs too. That'd be very nice. What do you guys like it in the chat here? Garcia always looking for the kill. Yeah, outside of, like we said, the Cater fight, that was the one time he's like calmed it down a little bit. Lopes might grapple. I don't think he's going to grapple. And if he does grapple, I don't think he's taking down Garcia. Garcia has really good takedown defense, actually.
Yeah.
Ilia Topuria is a chump. I don't agree with that one. I do not agree with that one. Don't trust Garcia's durability. It's very bad. He might grapple. He wasn't even grappling after 10-8ing Gene Silva in the first round. Second round comes out, and Silva has aimbot on his chin and barely shoots. Yeah, this fight makes my balls tingle. Me too. It's a really good fight, or at least I hope it is. There's Lopes and Lopes, but I understand. Lopes is usually a good bet unless it's a title fight. Yeah, he's looked really good in every single fight outside of the title fights. Really bad performances. We got Daniel Forrest with a $2 dono. Appreciate you, Daniel, saying 150 likes by the main event and Lopes wig and a song. Okay, we'll do that. 150 likes. Deal. You guys need to consider the fact that Garcia has wicked elbows from the bottom. Whenever Garcia gets knocked down, he always ends up winning anyway because of those elbows. Diego is a chin merchant, but the elbows might be what opens Lopes up. However, Garcia could always get chin too. I just don't trust Lopes to actually take him down. I don't think Lopes is taking him down. Lopes likes to get into a scrap. He was getting hit more when he fought Silva until the elbow. He was getting pieced apart in that second round. I can't believe some of the shots he was eating. Holloway also didn't win minutes against Volk. Yeah, Volk's incredible. Garcia is going to beat the shit out of Broken Feet, I think. Who's Broken Feet? I don't know.
Yeah.
Volk is one of the best minute winners in UFC history. Yeah, probably top 3. Lopes did get mount on Silva. That was crazy. Like almost 10-7 Silva. I couldn't believe my eyes.
Yeah.
Can't believe Sean only got 7%. That bro needs so much help. Agreed. Let's just say respect to stat diggers, man. These guys come out every week for free to do great informative show and never phone it in. These guys are gems of the space. Appreciate that. Official Vor. The Husky did try to tell you about Von Fiem, though, our dog of the week video and also prediction video. Yeah, good hit there. We got Big Steve with the $10 dono saying casual's about to clean up. I think it's a very casual card. It seems like a pretty easy card to bet on. Like, I know everybody's on the Nickal Daukaus over. Hokit, KO. O'Malley should get it done. Topuria should get it done by K. It seems like a card that's pretty straightforward to me outside of maybe the Garcia, because a lot of people are on Garcia as the dog there. Look, guys, to go from Evloev and Volkanovski twice to Steve Garcia is a giant leap down in competition. I trust Lopes' shin in the pocket and coming out victorious here. Yeah, it's a big step down. I wonder how his feet. Lopes broke his. Yeah, he broke his feet, right?
I don't remember that. When did that happen?
I don't know. I don't
Was
know.
it the Volk fight? Was it the second Volk fight?
I don't know. I think I remember hearing something like that, though.
He's only been on layoff for 4 months. So if he had a broken foot during that time, that would be bad.
That would be wild.
The last Volk fight, yeah, because the last Volk fight was just 4 months ago. So
yeah, I don't know. I remember hearing somebody
it's
say
not
that.
good.
No. Pipe it up. Come on, come on, come on. I thought the rematch for Lopes was too soon. I think he would game plan better further out, but now Volk will be too old. Yeah, Lopes himself said today that he can't wait for Volk to retire pretty much, and so he can go for the
they'll
title.
never make another Lopes Volk fight. Those are some of the worst fights in the history of title fights.
I know. Slight edge to Lopes. I still question how the weather will impact the fights. I think it's going to impact one of the fights. Let's just say I think somebody's balls are going to be really, really hot in 90-degree weather. With Brady, this is Levels fight. Lopes dusts Garcia and sends him back to the. That's my hot take of the week. I think not only he wins, but I think it's in a couple minutes. I mean, this guy is getting dropped by Ontiveros. Yep, not a minute winner, needs to go all out. Yeah, he needs to kind of throw caution to the wind there. Diego Lopes broke both his feet. That's crazy. Oh gosh. Then he shouldn't be fighting. I mean, that's ridiculous. Fight doesn't go to decision, and Diego money line. Yeah, I mean, it seems like a trap. I mean, minus 240 in a Steve Garcia fight doesn't go. This guy's been to decision like once in like the last like 8 years. It's crazy.
What is the finish only prop, Brady? Do you know what that's at?
Yeah, it's not good. They're all over it.
Yeah, it's like Lopes minus 300 or something.
No, not that crazy. Minus 200, I think.
Okay, still pretty juiced.
Yeah. And Garcia does have a ton of power as well, so it wouldn't shock me because Lopes his strike defense is horrible, like terrible.
Yeah, it's so bad, dude.
It's very, very bad. Yeah, the Volk fight. Well, that's not good. I mean, feet are important. Although Cody Haddon broke both of his feet and he was just fine, but
yeah.
But he took a lot of time off, not 4 months.
He did.
All right. So that fight hopefully should be fun. This fight, I don't know. Wait, which tab of crap? Which tab is it?
They're not a PP tab.
Okay, they were missed. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. This is the one fight on the card where I was like, really? Why? Didn't you just cut this guy? Why are we putting Kyle Daukaus on the White House card? But yeah, Kyle Daukaus versus Bo Nickal. We got Bo Nickal, 30 years old, 6'1" with a 76-inch reach. Kyle Daukaus, 33 years old, 6'3" with a 76-inch reach. Nickal, 3 years younger. Daukaus with a 2-inch height advantage, got the same reach there. Bo Nickal 4-1 in his last 5 fights. Knockout win against Val Woodburn. Submission win against Cody Brundage. Decision loss to Paul Craig. Knockout loss to Renier de Ritter. Knockout win against Rodolfo Vieira. As far as Kyle Daukaus, 5-0 in his last 5 fights. He got cut from the UFC, went out and got a couple wins, came back and knocked out Michelle Pereira in the first minute. Made me smash my TV that morning. I remember that card started at like 7 a.m. I woke up only to see Michelle Pereira take a dive and get finished, losing a bet there. And then he club and subs Gerald Mearshart, which I did hit that bet, so that was good. But yeah, Kyle Daukaus on a 2-fight winning streak here in the UFC and looking to keep it going here. I don't know. So a couple spots were kind of sticking out here. I think the over stuck out to me, but it's been getting pounded. It's a very popular play this week, and it makes sense. The over, I saw it like minus 120-ish. Now it's minus 150 to minus 170 on some books. Kind of like the over here. And I kind of like Nickal to win, but minus 350. I don't know. The more I think about this fight, it's like on the feed, it's probably going to be pretty dang close. Like Kyle Daukaus has sneaky good striking. His striking defense is horrible, but sneaky good striking, clearly has some power, knocking out Michelle Pereira, who, did he throw the fight? Probably, but Michelle Pereira is super durable. I mean, it took Anthony Fluffy Hernandez damn near 25 minutes to finish him, and Daukaus finished him in 60 seconds. So yeah, Daukaus has some power, some underrated striking. Daukaus is a jiu-jitsu black belt, very dangerous on the mat. So kind of how I see the fight playing out is I think Nick will be able to dictate where this fight takes place. I think the striking, could be close. And if he doesn't like how the striking's going, take the fight down to the ground, minus P's and Q's, stuff like that. So I lean Nickal, but I don't know, minus 350. It just seems a little wide to me. Am I crazy, Weezy, or do you think the line is warranted here?
Yeah, share the screen with the people here. And I mean, the thing that, what this line feels like it's based on to me is just the difference in the wrestling, right? If you go and you watch the tape on Kyle Daukaus, one of the more recent fights, which one was it? Let me look at real quick here. It was the Greg Ellis. Yeah, the Greg Ellis fight. He gets hurt late in the third round of that fight. And then Ellis gets to a dominant position on the mat, and you see that Daukaus has just got no answer for it. Then you go on to the Sean Fallon fight, and he's getting taken down and held down in the first 3 rounds of this fight until he finally gets a finish. I think it's either late in the third or in the fourth round of that fight. So when you see Daukaus there at plus 285, there's a lot of places where he's not going to look plus 285. He's going to look a lot better than that in the distance striking, in terms of the conditioning and experience and strength of schedule. You know, I mean, I know Bo Nickal knocked out Val Woodburn, and nobody does that to Val Woodburn, but Kyle Daukaus has got some good wins as well, and Michelle Pereira being amongst them. So just to kind of take you through the numbers here real briefly, it's Bo, who's 3 years younger, but it's going to be Kyle, who's 2 inches taller. It's a southpaw versus southpaw matchup, which will be interesting on the feet, because I think that usually favors the more experienced fighter, because you don't get a lot of southpaw versus southpaw matchups. But I think the last one was for Nickal against Vieira. Anyway, experience, obviously Kyle Daukaus, big experience advantages over Bo. Strength of schedule, big advantage there for Kyle Daukaus as well. As you see, Bo's ranked number 63 out of 89 in the division, while Kyle Daukaus is top 20. Distance striking, Kyle does good work. I mean, you look at Bo Nickal only averaging 7.3 distance strike attempts per minute. Kyle's averaging 16. He's a little bit less defensively responsible, 64% for Bo, 55% for Kyle. And Bo's got a 2-to-1 knockdown ratio, while it's 2-to-4 for Kyle Daukaus, but a little bit better of a distance striking differential. But neither one of these guys is spending a ton of time at distance striking range. But for Kyle, the frustrating thing is, if you feel like Kyle's path is to win the striking here, look at that number, Brady. Only 29% of this guy's UFC octagon time takes place at distance striking range. So what are the odds that he's going to stuff takedowns against one of the best wrestlers in the organization and be able to keep this fight standing, where he probably will have a striking advantage? And if Bo gets sloppy trying to shoot on Kyle, we know how good his front choke series is. So Bo's going to have to be very careful about how he sets up his takedown entries. But the guy is such a qualified and elite wrestler that we know he's going to have a bunch of different entries, you know, and he'll choose the entries that give him the least possible chance of getting submitted by what Kyle does well. So, yeah, I mean, you know, 81% of the control time positions won for Bo, 61% for Kyle. But keep in mind that he's averaging like 9 takedowns per 15 minutes, and his opponents are only averaging 3 attempts against. So he is not the most efficient grappler there, because he's attempting more than 75% of the takedowns in his fights, but only getting 61% of the control time positions won. So, yeah, I mean, and then when you look at the recent form of both fighters and the money lines, neither one of these guys has been profitable overall. Bo, though, because of market expectations being super high, rather than, you know, Kyle Daukaus, who's actually been priced as a favorite 6 times and only won 3 of those fights. So when the market has faith in Kyle, he's got a negative 35% ROI. But when he's been an underdog, he's went 1-1 with a positive 34% ROI. Recent form here, Bo is coming off a win, but he had the loss against Renier de Ridder, and before that, he was undefeated. You could see that he's got impressive records to the KO, to the submission, and to the decision, and that the momentum and the recency bias are both trending up for him. But, you know, failing as a minus 350 favorite versus Renier de Ridder has those ROI numbers being negative for the last 5 fights, because he was such big favorites over guys like Woodburn, Brundage, and Craig that he really couldn't make much money, you know, in the fights that he did win. Even against Vieira, he was minus 250 there, and that was a very easy win for him. But Daukaus is on a 6-fight win streak, you know, so he's got excellent career trajectory and momentum coming into this fight. Knocking out Pereira is a plus 200 underdog in his return to the UFC, and then predictably running through Gerald Meerschaert as an 83% implied favorite in his last fight. 12-0 to the sub is Kyle Daukaus. So while I do think that Bo Nickal is going to be able to take him down and hold him down and land some nice ground and pound, I don't really see him submitting Kyle Daukaus on the mat because Kyle is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, and he's going to be able to threaten sweeps and submission attempts of his own, even if he can't get back up. So, and then you look at the recent form, big favorites here against Ellis, Fallon, and Pottershuk, and he pretty much met those lines outside of the Ellis fight where he was arguably finished at the end of the third round. But yeah, 55% ROI over those last 5 fights, but 3 of them are regional scene wins. So you can unshare my screen now, Brady. Yeah, I don't know what to say here in terms of, I guess that, we could see a potential submission by Kyle Daukaus. But I also think that Bo Nickal by decision is going to be something that's very live, because while I don't really like his chance to knock out or submit a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt in Kyle Daukaus, I do think he can win the minutes with his grappling.
Yeah, I'm going Nickal decision too, but it feels like everybody is. I feel like it's a trap. I feel like it's too easy. The over is getting smashed. I was actually going to play the over, but probably not anymore. But yeah, over makes sense. I don't know. I guess I got a weird feeling about this fight, so we'll see. Bo Nickal minus 350. I don't know what can go wrong. I don't know. Maybe nothing. Yeah, give me Nickal here. Yeah, I hate this fight. Terrible fight after an amazing fight before that. Yeah, it's my least favorite fight on the card. Anyone going to DC? I will not be going to DC. Pierre has no respect for Brady's TV. Absolutely not. I mean, first the Abus fight and then Kyle Daukaus. Really, Michelle? But at least Michelle's eating good steak, lobster. Pierre is washed. Yeah, and I think they booked Michelle Pereira to fight Weezy. Did you see that he got booked against somebody? Who did he get booked against?
Shara.
Oh my gosh.
I think it's Shara, man. I think they're sending him to Abu Dhabi to fight the one-eyed man.
Oh my gosh. Shara better not F that one up. I mean, this guy Pereira lost to Zach Reese. The judges just got it wrong. I couldn't believe my eyes. That was horrible. It's the dog or pass, or maybe bet the under. Everybody's betting the over. I don't know. I lean over. Imagine the Doris Knight gets him. I mean, it could happen. I mean, Daukaus has some power. Bo into the distance, physicality advantage too big, probably chokes him for me. I think if he finishes him, it might be later once Daukaus slows down. Nickal is a chump. Come on, man. Come on. These graphics are top notch. Weezy, yes, they are. I like them.
Thank you.
Will Bo wrestle? He barely shot on Vieira and didn't wrestle Paul Craig at all. I think someone with a sub threat shuts down his wrestling a little. If Kyle tries a front choke, Bo might stop. That's a good point. He didn't wrestle against Vieira much at all, and then didn't wrestle against Craig literally at all. Maybe, I don't know.
But
I think
Vieira is like a 10-time Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt world champion.
Yeah.
And Paul Craig is super dangerous from his guard. So the one thing you don't want to do with Craig is take him down and sit in his guard, because now we can start working for that triangle armbar series. Kyle Daukaus isn't dangerous from his back, I don't think, or at least not nearly as dangerous as somebody like Vieira would be. Yeah. Although even Vieira is a lot more dangerous from top position, but certainly Paul Craig.
Yeah. Yep. Fight completes round 1, minus 210 as a parlay leg. Yeah, I don't hate it. 10.
Yeah, my model doesn't really like that, but that's because both Bo and Kyle have some wins that ended early. The Mearshart win, the Pereira win, and then Bo Nickal was out there dusting the Night Wolf, Jamie Pickett, and Val Woodburn, and Zach Borrego, and some other guys like that.
They both are dangerous. They both are finishers.
Yeah. They're making you pay minus 240 for fight goes. So, or I'm sorry, plus 170 or minus 240 for fight doesn't go, I should say.
Yeah. Question: if you could replace, which is the same price as the Garcia fight doesn't go, which is ridiculous to me. Question: if you could replace Nickal Daukaus fight with any other matchup in the UFC, who would it be? Example: Amanda Nunes versus Kayla Harrison. I don't know. I'd maybe you throw like Talbot on there. What about Peyton Talbot versus Marlon Vera? Let's give him the Marlon Vera test. I'd like to see that.
I think that would be a really good one. You
Let
got to
him-
get somebody with some serious star power, and because Islam is moving up to 170, and I don't think he's really got a title fight yet lined up. So, and then I think like something else that I would have liked would have been Yair Rodriguez versus Gene Silva. I think that would have been a really fun striking matchup to have for this type of card. But neither guy being American, White House card might not have been something that they worked on.
Yeah, and Yair doesn't fight anymore, unfortunately. But that'd be a phenomenal fight. We could have got a Sergey Spivak on the card. That'd been cool.
UFC Moldova. That's when they're gonna be. It's gonna be Chisinau, Moldova, and they're gonna have Iwan Kutalaba and Sergey Spivak as co-headliners.
Let's go. There's zero reason to shoot on Vera or Craig. True. Are you taking humidity into account when capping these fights? Kind of feel like all the wrestler grapplers will be at a big disadvantage because of that. I mean, I don't. It's hard to cap that. I mean, I've never took humidity into consideration for capping fights, but I know it's going to suck for Derrick Lewis. I think.
I remember those first few times they went to Abu Dhabi, you'd see some of those guys drenched in sweat after round one, and they would be like, dude, the air conditioning's working in here. It's just hot. Same thing with Brazil.
Yeah, I mean, Chandler's probably screwed after a couple minutes, but that's already priced. I mean, Hoofy's like minus 1,000 almost at this point. But we'll get clunked. Oh, you'd rather watch a chick fight? Nunez versus Harrison. Yeah, throw it on there. Why?
That would be a fun fight. Yeah,
absolutely. Oh no, the likes are going backwards. They're going in reverse. Oh gosh. I didn't think that this fight was that bad. Bo wasn't afraid to shoot on Vieira. Don't think he'll be worried about Daukaus. Darce, a guillotine game. No, he shouldn't be. 150 likes and Brady sings Sweet Caroline. Make it 200. 150 likes and Wheezy puts 0.5 units on Justin Gaethje by sub. What a horrible bet.
I think that's like plus 4,000.
Should be plus 1 million. I mean, that's crazy. Just going to pass betting this fight. I wouldn't even get excited for it on a normal card. Me either. I was like, what are they doing? I mean, it's terrible. I just feel like Daukaus will hurt him and Bo will panic shoot into a Darce. Yeah, it could happen. Kyle Daukaus on the White House card. I've seen it all. Yeah, they just cut this guy. And now they're throwing him on the White House card. It's crazy. Smash a like for some Sweet Caroline. Let's go. Yeah, 200 likes. Some Sweet Caroline. Let's get it. Spurs just won. Yeah, I figured they would. And they were dogs, I think, tonight. Greasy as it gets. It's greasy, man. Bo decision has to be a decent number. It is. Well, it was plus 290. Which I was very tempted on it, and it's down to I think plus 260 still, something like that. Which it's not bad as well, but I think he could potentially finish Daukaus as the fight goes on, maybe. So, but yeah, my pick is Bo by decision. Moving on to the next fight, and it's going to be a good fight here, really good fight here. We got Mauricio Ruffy going against Michael Chandler. We got Ruffy, 29 years old, 5'11" with a 75-inch reach. Michael Chandler, 40 years old, 5'8" with a 71-inch reach. We got Ruffy, 11 years younger, 3-inch height advantage and a 4-inch reach advantage. We got Ruffy 4-1 in his last 5 fights. Knockout win against Jamie Malarkey. Decision win against Hamaz Yantop. A knockout win against King Green. Submission loss to Benoit Saint Denis. And a knockout win against Rafael Fiziev. As far as Chandler, 1-4 in his last 5 fights. Decision loss to Justin Gaethje. Knockout win against Tony Ferguson. Submission loss against Dustin Poirier. Decision loss to Charles Oliveira, and a knockout loss against Paddy Pimblett. So, yeah, as a fan, I mean, this fight's going to be a very fun fight. I mean, Michael Chandler, Mauricio Ruffy, probably one of the more exciting fights on the card. I'd say it's probably my 3rd or 4th favorite fight behind the Lopes fight, the main event, the Lewis fight we'll talk about, and then probably this fight. But it's a great fight, Weezy, from a fan perspective, but from a betting perspective, it's like, what the hell? What the hell are we supposed to do? Mauricio Ruffy on the money lines, minus 775. The fight doesn't go to decisions, minus 500. Ruffy inside the distance is minus 325. Ruffy by knockout is minus 260. I mean, this fight, it's one of the most unbettable fights I've ever seen. But yeah, I mean, Ruffy by KO, but how do you play it? Then you got to try to pick a round. It's like, does he knock him out in the first? Does he knock him out in the second? Does he knock him out in the third? Because I'm not betting Michael Chandler. I mean, I think Michael Chandler's washed. I mean, Michael Chandler's looked awful these last several years. I think Chandler might be able to take him down a couple times early, but I'm not even convinced about that at this point. I'd be shocked if this fight went to decision. I'd be shocked if Michael Chandler won, but that's all priced into the line. These lines are god awful.
Yeah. I mean, it's a tough one because I think the biggest thing, if you share the screen, Brady, that I'm going to bring up from the slides here is you look at Mauricio Hoofy's last 5 fights, and I mean, this guy's minus 775 right now. That is an 88.6% implied probability. The bookmakers, the market as a whole, giving Michael Chandler about a 15% chance to win this fight. And you look at Hoofy's last 5 fights, Saint Denis loss. But outside of that, this guy's, beating Fiziev, Bobby Green, Jimmy Yontop, Jamie Malarkey. I'd say that the momentum in the career trajectory, the recency bias, they're all trending up after a tough loss against Benoit Saint Denis, while Michael Chandler has lost 4 out of his last 5 and something like maybe even 6 out of his last 7 fights. I mean, it's bad. I mean, obviously, he's only losing to the best fighters. Justin Gaethje, Dustin Poirier, Charles Oliveira, Paddy Pimblett, the win. But the win came against Tony Ferguson. I mean, literally anybody in the division could beat Tony Ferguson. So while you really are losing to the best guys, you're still on a 3-fight losing streak. You got a ton of miles on the engine. The momentum and career trajectory are at a strong negative. The recency bias is negative. So there's not a lot to hang your hat on. I mean, even if you look at the grappling numbers, which is where we saw Benoit Saint Denis have some success against Mauricio Hoofy, Chandler gets out-controlled. You know what I mean? He's even attempting, I'm sorry, I just screwed that up. He's attempting more takedowns at 4.22 than his opponents are attempting against him at 3, but he's still getting out-controlled 30% to 20%. So going out there and expecting Michael Chandler in 2026 to go out there and wrestle and get top time and land ground and pound and win minutes and bank rounds with that type of a game plan in what's going to maybe be 90-degree heat that's very humid. Yeah, this is probably going to mostly be a striking match, but maybe Chandler just goes fully just goes for it out there. You can unshare the screen. Maybe he just goes for it out there, Maybe he just runs forward and says, hey, somebody's going to get served here, and I'm not going to let this guy just maintain range and pick me apart. Maybe he just pressures forward, mixes big hooks with takedown attempts, and tries to find a way to make Mauricio uncomfortable. But, yeah, man, it's really hard to back Chandler right here because of where he is in his career. The differences in age, career trajectory, and momentum are massive. And I don't really see any area of MMA where Michael Chandler is going to, be that much better than Mauricio Hoofy outside the wrestling and grappling. And we just haven't seen him really use that successfully in recent fights. So it's probably going to be Hoofy by KO because Chandler's been knocked out a ton of times.
Yeah, I just wish it was playable, man. You can't lay minus 260 on a KO prop. You just can't.
No, I mean,
you just can't because Dixon said it. I mean, Chandler's so washed. Hoofy could sub him, dude. Poirier subbed him. You can get subbed. Hoofy doesn't have any subs, but it could happen,
Yeah, dude. Gosh. I mean, if Poirier's subbing you, dude, that guy attempted 77 guillotines in the UFC and didn't get one of them. And they would always talk about, oh my God, Dustin Poirier's got a great guillotine. According to who?
Himself.
He's never guillotined anybody. He consistently puts himself on his back with that guillotine and loses a ton of minutes because of his unsubstantiated faith in that thing. But, I mean, obviously, it's just, I don't know how Chandler wins this fight other than, I think it's a puncher's chance, Brady, really. Because I don't think this guy can even wrestle for 2 rounds, much less 3.
No, he can wrestle for maybe a round. He was able to take down Pimblett a few times in round 1. was able to take down Poirier, controlled Poirier in round 1 for a little bit, but that's about it. But yeah, I mean, like the unders juiced, like I don't know, the Pimblett fight got to the mid-third. Oliveira fight went 25. Poirier fight ended in the third. Gaethje fight went the distance. So I don't know. I don't love anything here. But
yeah, I think it's going to be a super fun fight. But I don't know if I want to have any money on this at all.
No, just nothing. They're too juiced. Too juiced. Even when these opened up like a couple weeks ago, I mean, they opened up juiced, and it's only going to get worse, which sucks, but is what it is. About a load of Hoofy minus 450 when it was around Sumi. No, I mean, you're going to get some CLV. I bet he gets to minus 1,000 when it's all said and done. He's already minus 800 on some books, and it's like Monday. So I think Chandler gets Hoofy and goes out. Amazing show. Best games in the community.
Appreciate you soap in my eyes.
Oh gosh. Let's go. Give me Chandler by TKO. He is coming like a bull full of rage because Connor ducked him and wants to prove a point. Yeah, I mean, if he goes out there and swings dicks with Hoofy, I mean, the fight's going to end in round 1 for sure. But I think it'd be wise to at least try to wrestle. You know, the one time we saw Hoofy losing the UFC was, getting wrestled. But yeah, I don't think Chandler has the cardio to do that for even a round and a half, maybe a couple minutes.
And not outdoors either. And then not only that, you want to talk about ducking. How about that bum Ilia Topuria ducking our guy Conor McGregor, who's just going to go bop, 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 bop. Like they're putting this pointless Gaethje Topuria fight just to save him from Conor, and we all know how that one's going to work out. So I'm looking forward to that one.
Exactly. I know you're not a big fan of Topuria at all. If round 1 Chandler from the Poirier fight still exists, he could put Hoofy away.
Yeah.
Does he exist? I don't know.
I don't think he does, but if he does, it could happen.
That was 4 years ago at this point. Time flies. Yeah. Time flies. Chandler by decision. That's got to be something insane. Chandler by decision is
a big number.
Oh, plus 1,800.
Hey-o.
Holy crap.
I like it.
Jeez. As far as Zion needs the most help, yeah, I'd say so. Hoofy sub. So what is Hoofy sub? Because he has none. Plus 11,000. Yep, let's see, plus 1,000, plus 1,100. I mean, maybe. I mean, if he subs Chandler, there's gonna be a lot of people that are really upset, Wheezy. Because I'm assuming that the KO for Hoofy is gonna be a very popular play this week.
Yeah, they got the KO at minus 190 and the sub at plus 1,000. So yeah. If he subs them and people are on that minus 190 KO, they're going to be punching air.
Yeah. Most likely gets killed after he gas. That's kind of how I'm seeing it. I think, he's going to probably go for takedowns, gas out, get finished. I'd be shocked if this fight went the distance. Hoofy KO 2. Did you see the 2-3 props for this fight? They are. Listen to this.
I don't even look at them anymore, man. They've gotten so bad over the years.
You're saying you don't want to bet Hoofy round 2 at plus 250?
Oh my God. I remember when we said that Kennedy and Zechiku by round 2 at plus 450 was the worst prop ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
And then here they are now. They're doing plus 250 for round 2.
Round 3 on BetOnline is plus 500 for a round 3 prop. And it probably doesn't even get to round 3. That's crazy.
Like fight starts round 3 is almost 500.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
Absolutely insane. Michael Chandler has been on a diet of strictly gnats and fly. That doesn't sound good.
That's not good at all.
I thought Chandler should take him down. Maybe Hoofy teeps to the body. TKO. Yeah, I think it's a KO. Let's break the like button so Brady puts on the Diego Wood wig. Yeah, we need 150, right? 150. Chandler has some zip round 1. Maybe he has some EPO dealer on speed dial now and surprise everyone. It could happen. It's a fight, It's a fight. Anything can happen. Poor Chandler. Poor Chandler. Chandler old. Yeah, he's old. Chandler's old, but after what BSD did to Hoofy, there's a path to maul him on the ground. Yeah, I mean, if Chandler had like 3-round cardio, maybe. But he just doesn't. Hoofy decision. What's Hoofy decision? Because Weezy, this guy Michael Chandler went to decision with Charles Oliveira and Justin Gaethje.
Yeah, plus 425 for Mauricio Ruffy decision, man. I mean, like, so if you think he can last 3 rounds, that's a big number.
Yeah, it is. Remember when Yuri choked out Glover? I said that would never happen. Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Me
I
too.
didn't think that would ever happen. That's maybe the best fight of all. That's my favorite fight. That's my favorite UFC fight. Yuri Glover.
Yeah, it's one of the best fights of all time. Hoofy is my personal piping of the week. Hoofy is going to take his beef with Gene Silva out on poor Chandler. They have a beef? That's not cool.
Oh, really? Yeah, they used to be teammates. I didn't know. I mean, but he left Fighting Nerds.
Yeah, he did.
Interesting.
Over 1.5 is plus 120. It could be a sweat. I think it could hit if like Chandler like wrestles him and humps his leg, but that's a sweat, man. That's a sweat. Am I crazy for liking the over 1.5? I don't think you're crazy. Chandler gets extended a ton. A jumping knee piping. Yeah, and you guys can vote on the piping towards the end. I mean, looks like Hoofy could potentially be an option.
Yeah.
Gonna be a complete butthole puckering if you bet the over. Agreed. Oh, and by the way, guys, I bet my first over in probably over a year on this card. I bet my first over in a very long time.
Looking forward to talking about it.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about it in a little bit. All right, let's move on to the next fight, and this is one of the best fights in the card. Wheezy, it's a Josh Hokit fight. I mean, it's a freaking Josh Hokit fight. One of the most exciting guys in the game right now. It's Josh Hokit, 28 years old, 6'1" with a 73-inch reach. Derrick Lewis, 41 years old, 6'3" with a 79-inch reach. We got Hokit, 13 years younger, 2-inch height disadvantage, and a 6-inch reach disadvantage. Josh Hokit, 5-0 in his last 5 fights, knocked out Max Jimenez in the first round, knocked out Denzel Freeman in the first round, beat Curtis Blades by decision. And as far as Derrick Lewis, he is 3-2 in his last 5 fights, knocked out Marcos Rogério de Lima, lost a decision to Jailton Almeida, knocked out Rodrigo Nascimento, knocked out Talison Teixeira, and got knocked out by Waldo Cortez Acosta in his last fight. I think this fight's going to be absolutely insane. I mean, the pace Josh Hokit pushes, it's something like I've never seen, especially for like a heavyweight. This guy goes balls to the wall, and I think he's going to go balls to the wall here, but I think he's going to do it a little bit differently. In the Blades fight, he came out pretty much swinging dicks. I think it's going to look a little bit more like the Freeman fight, where he came out balls to the wall, but he was taking him down, wearing on him, and just broke Denzel Freeman, who, you don't get me wrong, I'm not high on Freeman at all, but just the way he broke him was incredible. And he's going against a Derrick Lewis who's 41 and a half years old and just doesn't seem like he cares anymore. I mean, this guy, Derrick Lewis, has been finished, I think, as many times as matched now. Yeah, 10 times Lewis has been finished at this point. He blatantly quit in his last fight. Even Josh Hokit was talking about it, said that Lewis blatantly quit in his last fight. He got hit with a jab and laid down and covered up. I mean, I think Hokit's going to do very, very bad things to Derrick Lewis here, Wheezy. We are in 90-degree weather. There's going to be a lot of humidity. It's going to be hot. This dude, Lewis, is balls. I don't think Lewis is lasting more than a couple minutes with the blistering pace that Hokit is about to put on him. So, yeah, I like Hokit here. His money line's getting obliterated, though. The unders are getting obliterated. I can't believe Hokit KO's at plus money, by the way. That's kind of the one spot that really surprises me. Well, it might not be plus money for much longer. Holy crap. Hokit KO, Wheezy, opened up plus 165 on FanDuel a few weeks ago. It's now down to plus 110, but on BetOnline, it's already minus 120. So I think that Hokit KO at plus money, if you can get it at plus money, I think that's a good look. And I think he's knocking out Lewis within the first couple minutes. Wheezy, what are your thoughts on this fight? I think it's going to be incredible. I think it's going to be hilarious. I could see Hokit spanking Lewis's ass. I could see Hokit throwing up some middle fingers. It's going to be a fun fight.
Yeah, it is, man. Go ahead and share my screen with people here. Obviously, we got Hokit minus 425 or an 81% implied favorite. Derrick Lewis at plus 350 is sitting around a 22% implied underdog here. Josh Hokit, almost 13 years younger, but it's Lewis who's 2 inches taller and has a 6-inch reach advantage. A lot more experience overall and at the UFC level for Derrick Lewis. We've got big strength of schedule advantage here on the Derrick Lewis side, as he's got 31 UFC fights compared to only 3 for Hokit. Hokit ranked 28th in the division, but Derrick Lewis ranked 13th. When we talk about distance striking, obviously Derrick Lewis is extremely low volume, but very efficient. 11 knockdowns, leads the UFC in knockouts, but he's only 35% accuracy and 47% defense. So he's not a minute winner. He doesn't throw a lot of volume. What he will do is look for that knockout. And if he doesn't get the knockout, he's not going to win minutes, and he's most likely going to quit and get finished. Grappling, Josh Hokit doesn't have great grappling numbers yet at the UFC level, but this guy is one of the best wrestlers in the entire division. So I think that he's going to have a massive grappling advantage there. And Josh Hokit, 52% ROI over 3 UFC fights is phenomenal. But people fucking sleep on Derrick Lewis, Brady. This guy outperforms market expectations all the time. 31 UFC fights having a 41% ROI. That's crazy. That is crazy. That shows you how often this guy can cash as an underdog. He's been priced as an underdog or a pick'em in 20 fights. He's won 12 of them. And over that 20-fight stretch, he's got a 60% return on investment. And Josh Hokit has been priced as a pick'em once. He won that fight, and then he won both fights where he was priced as a favorite. So both of these guys are doing well in terms of how they're performing in relation to market expectations. But the biggest difference here, and the reason that you see the much younger fighter in Josh Hokit being a massive favorite, is not because we can't see a path to victory for Derrick Lewis. There's a very clear path to victory. Hit this much smaller, very poor defensive striker in Josh Hokit in the face and knock him out. Same thing that you've done to everybody else in the division that you've beaten. But the difference in career trajectory, momentum, 9 wins, strong positive for Hokit, while for Lewis, he's coming off of a loss. His 2 wins prior to that were against Talison Teixeira and Rodrigo Nascimento. Got rinsed by Almeida. But, you look at these 3 wins. Cashes is a plus 181 underdog versus Rogerio de Lima. Cashes is a plus 250 underdog versus Talison Teixeira. And wins is a minus 160 dominantly over Rodrigo Nascimento. So I do think that Derrick Lewis, while he's in a completely different place in his career, being the much older fighter, having lost fights recently than Hokit is, he is still a guy who can surprise you as an underdog. And we see it here in the Talison Teixeira fight. We see it here in the Rogerio de Lima fight. And we see it right here in the last 5 fights. His ROI is at 58% with a net profit of 2.93 units over that 5-fight stretch. So you can unshare the screen here. But what I'm seeing for this fight is just an under 1.5 rounds. I mean, that's probably the way that this one winds up going, because Derrick Lewis has got a ton of power, and Josh Hokit is going to be extremely hittable. But if Hokit puts the kind of pace that he put on Denzel Freeman or Max Jimenez or anybody that he fought on the regional scene, including Dana White's Contender Series, he fought Guillermo Urinal too. This guy can run through anybody if they don't have good takedown. Yeah, Guillermo Urinal. He shaved that guy's ass for early in round 2. Took him down. He was already gassed out. That's what the Lewis fight will look like if it gets to round 2, because the pace that Josh will put on Derrick in round 1, if Derrick doesn't get him out of there, he's not going to have anything left in the tank in 90-degree heat against Josh Hokit, who trains at 7,000 feet elevation in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And in terms of athleticism, it's not even close. You got a guy in Hokit who is a 2-sport athlete in college, All-American Division I wrestler, All-American Division I running back with a double-digit touchdown total. So, Josh is probably going to kill this guy, but he could absolutely walk onto a bomb early. So the under 1.5 at minus 200 is my favorite play for this fight.
Yep. I got in on the under 1.5, and the fight ends by KO a couple weeks ago. I like those spots quite a bit. Yeah, I don't think this fight's getting out of the first. If it does, I think Lewis is going to look like RDR when he fought Brendan Allen. Just
I know,
Jason
dude.
Herzog's going to have to help him up. He's going to take a hard look at him after the first round. I don't think Lewis is getting up. If Hokit puts on that pace, like you said, when he fought Freeman, that bum Jimenez, and that bum Freeman, or that bum on the Contender Series. Yeah, Urinal.
Yeah.
Lewis,
yeah, he pissed all over that guy.
He pissed all over Urinal. He's not getting up, man. I think we could see a first round TKO after the bell.
Yeah, dude. And, and I could even see Jason Herzog picking up poor Derrick Lewis off the mat, helping him back to his stool, like giving him a little pep talk, like, hey, you're the president's favorite fighter, man. Don't make him look bad. Go out there and find that KO. They're going to try to help him,
Herzog's going to try to fan him down and cool him down.
Herzog needs to towel and
yeah, Herzog needs to cash that over.
Up like the Eastern Europeans do. Like, how does that help you breathe? Come on.
Oh gosh, yeah, I like the under. I'm 3 units deep on this fight. Like the under 1.5 rounds. I like Hokit KO, even though it's getting smashed. I mean, Hokit KO 1. Let's see where that opened up. Oh my gosh, Hokit KO 1 opened up at plus 370, and it's plus 145 on Bet Online. Could you imagine?
Oh.
Plus 370. I mean, that's crazy. But yeah, it's gotten smashed. All these Hokit props are getting smashed, and it's like Monday. Just crazy. What is Dana doing to these American boys? I don't know. At least one American's gonna get a win, and we'll talk about that fight. Actually, no, 2 Americans will probably get wins. Because Bo Nickal and Daukaus are both American. One of them's got to win, right?
Yes.
You would hope. Lewis's ball is definitely going to be hot and probably want to get it out quick, regardless if it's him KO or getting KO'd. Yeah, I don't think it's lasting more than a couple minutes. This is going to be over in less than a minute. Gone in 60 seconds? Maybe. It could happen. Hokit KO round 1. Lewis quits on the White House lawn. Josh is my captain on DK. Same. I was messing around with the DK today. It's tough, dude. First of all, I don't really like captain mode, but this week especially is tough to make a lineup. So I was making some lineups where like, oh God, I got to get Aiemann Zahabi in there. Oh God, I got to get Michael Chandler. Like they're making you play Zahabi, Chandler, like Kyle Daukaus. I mean, it's very tough to make lineups this week on DK. There we go. 90 likes and counting. Only 60 more likes to go. There we go. 100 likes. We're almost there. If this goes to the second round, it's going to be a wet canvas if this goes to, Gone in 60 seconds type of fight. Hokit sub. Yeah, Hokit could potentially. Lewis is very hard to sub, but it could happen, especially if Lewis is tired. I have Hokit minus 350. Yeah, I think you're going to beat some serious line movement there. 150 likes. I know we can do it. We should be able to do it. It's a great card. Hokit KO plus Ilia round 1 KO. Put the house on it. Probably pays well. Lewis is dangerous for the first 30 seconds or so. Other than that, wash. Yeah, I don't like how Lewis has been looking. But, I mean, I pick against Lewis all the time. And like Weezy said, he cashes a lot. It's just hard for me to personally pick Lewis because his durability stinks. His cardio stinks. His ground game stinks. His volume stinks. Everything stinks. But he has a lot of power. And that's all you need. That's all
like
you
the
need.
Bob Sapp of the UFC. He's like, I will fight my ass off for 60 seconds. But once we hit 61... I am looking for the door.
Yeah, I don't think this fight's hitting the second. Under 1.5, Hokit versus Lewis. Under 1.5, Topuria, Gaethje plus 200. There you go. Lewis has checked out, made his money. He's losing. Hokit isn't going to be there to catch a sloppy punch. Yeah, we'll see. If he goes out there and fights the fight like he did against Blades, it could get very interesting. We got Daniel with the $2 dono. Appreciate you, Daniel, saying props to Brandon Weezy's graphics guy. # upgrade. We're always looking to upgrade the show, and yeah, graphics are absolutely a must. Appreciate you, Forrest. Round 1 KO, Lewis, we know ball. Yeah, you can, if that's how Lewis wins. Literally, it's going to be a round 1 KO. Let's see what that is, because he is not winning this fight any other way. Round 1 KO for Lewis is plus 525.
Yeah. It should be like a plus 1,000 though, because like the line is going to be minus 1,000 for Josh Hokit by the time this thing, closes.
Yeah, Hokit's line's getting obliterated. Fight starts round 2 is plus money. It's plus 110.
Yeah, No thanks on that.
No, it'd be a sweat. Brandon Weezy, DC already showed the blueprint. Jonathan showed the blueprint. If we see Hokit sub Lewis, then 1,000% Jonathan had a steakhouse bet. This will reveal the truth, like Levitt exposing Yadier. Yeah, good point. It could.
Agreed.
Shout out Urinal.
Yep.
Shout out Urinal. We're gonna get Urinal back on the contenders this year. Okay. I think I saw that.
He'll probably get an easier matchup this time around than Josh Hokit, the poor guy.
Yeah, definitely. Hokit by sub plus 330. He does have it in his arsenal. It was only pure hatred that kept Blades in that fight. I couldn't believe that fight went the distance. Dropping in to ask if Weezy's mentioned that UFC cutting Vieira yet. We talked about it a few times, actually. Ketlin Vieira.
Just, it's shocking to see some of the ladies that have been signed, and then you're cutting Ketlin Renegade Vieira. I don't get it.
Yeah, it's wild. I hammered Lewis Hokit. Fight won't start round 3, and Ilia Gaethje fight won't start round 4. What's the line on that? Because I like that a lot.
Yeah, it's probably got a negative number in front of it.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Yeah,
I got the under 1.5 at plus 102. Yeah, I remember Martin came on in the chat a couple weeks ago and said that the under was at like plus 100. That's ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Enjoy it. I mean, it's a great bet.
It's a great bet.
I don't know. I think you guys are mistaken to think anyone on this card isn't going to come in extremely motivated. Yeah, as they should be. All right. Let's move on to the next fight. It is going to be Sean O'Malley going against Aiemann Zahabi. We got Sean O'Malley, 31 years old, 5'11" with a 72-inch reach. Zahabi, 38 years old, 5'8" with a 68-inch reach. Sean O'Malley, 7 years younger, 3-inch height advantage and a 4-inch reach advantage. Sean O'Malley is 3-2 in his last 5 fights. Knockout win against Aljamain Sterling. Decision win against Marlon Vera. Decision loss against Merab Dvalishvili. Submission loss to Merab Dvalishvili. And then a decision win against Song Yadong. As far as Aiemann Zahabi, 5-0 in his last 5 fights. Knockout win against Arichi Long. Decision win against Javid Basharat. Decision win against Pedro Munoz. Decision win against Jose Aldo. And a decision win against Marlon Vera. I was shocked to see Aiemann Zahabi was on the White House card when they first announced it. It's like, why? Why Aiemann Zahabi? But it is what it is. It should be a good fight here. Sean O'Malley, a massive favorite. Aiemann Zahabi's been on a good run, though. I mean, this is a guy in Zahabi who I am not really the biggest fan of. This guy very rarely fought when he first made it to the UFC for a couple of years. And when he did fight, he barely fought. He didn't throw anything. His fights suck and stunk. But he started to finally get it together. He started finally throwing volume. He landed, I think, 100 significant strikes against Basharat or close to it. 100 significant strikes against Pedro Munoz. Being a lot more aggressive. His fights were a lot more fun and exciting. But he did get, hurt really bad against Jose Aldo. He did get hurt bad against Marlon Vera and dropped and barely beat Vera. It kind of feels like a fight where Sean O'Malley should get it done pretty easily. Sean O'Malley's not going to have to worry about somebody taking him down for the first time in a very long time. Like even Song Yadong was taking him down a couple times. He fought Merab twice, fought Aljamain Sterling. And Aiemann Zahabi, I don't believe has ever landed a takedown, like maybe one. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be a striking fight. And on the feet, Sean O'Malley has a lot more volume, has a lot more power. Should be Sean O'Malley here. Massive favorite, though, Weezy. What are your thoughts on this fight?
Yeah, Sean, I felt like he was kind of lucky to win that last fight against Song Yadong. Very close fight to start off the year. You can go ahead and share the screen, Brady. But big number on Sean here at minus 425, 81% implied. I'm in almost only 23% implied, but you got to keep in mind it's a striker versus striker matchup. So both guys are going to get the fight that they want here. Sean in this striker versus striker matchup, 3 inches taller, 4-inch reach advantage, and he's a switch stance fighter. So all that stuff works into his advantage. And he's the more experienced fighter, a lot more active for sure. I mean, everybody's more active than Aiemann Zahabi. The guy never fought. When we talk about strength of schedule, that is Sean as well, as he's ranked 7th in the division out of 89 compared to number 24 for Zahabi. And I have Sean's wins and his UFC losses also both rating better than Aiemann. So a nice little strength of schedule advantage on the Sean side. But this is the important slide, because you look at Aiemann Zahabi, he spends 93% of his octagon time at distance striking range. For Sean O'Malley, it's over 80%. And what you see here is that Sean throws more volume, 11.84 to 9.56. He lands more volume, 7.1 to 4.42. He's got a 6-0 knockdown ratio, while Aieman's got a 3-3 knockdown ratio. And you see this positive 3.76 distance striking differential compared to positive 0.17. The one area where Aiemann is a little bit better is defense, as his defense is near 70% compared to 64% for O'Malley. But what's important to note there is that the fight against Ricky Turcos, Zahabi, I think Turcos landed something like 11% of his strikes. So if you were to throw out that fight, I think that Zahabi's defense might not even look as good as O'Malley's on paper. So I think that's important to note. Grappling probably will be very little grappling here. 0.58 takedown attempts per 15 minutes for O'Malley, and it's less than 1 for Zahabi. Neither one of these guys really spends much time in control time positions, and neither one of them excels there. ROI, Sean O'Malley, 54% ROI with 110% return on investment when he's priced as an underdog over 6 fights. And he's been a reliable favorite, Brady, going 7-1 with a minus 310 average betting line. So he's done a really good job of outperforming market expectations. And Aiemann Zahabi, a 1.2% return on investment over 10 UFC fights, which is kind of weird because, with an 8-2 record, you'd think you'd have a better return on investment than 1%. But is that right? I think maybe he's got a better. I think that
it's got to be. He'd be Basha is minus 900.
Yeah. So then the return on investment is actually 116% for Zahabi. I've actually fixed this formatting error in my new spreadsheet deck because when the return on investment goes over 100%, it doesn't format it correctly. So yeah, Zahabi over 10 fights, 116% ROI. And when he's priced as an underdog, Brady, or pick'em, 5 wins and 1 loss over 6 fights with a return on investment of 183%. So just to remind you guys, it's a striker versus striker matchup. Both guys have excellent defense. So if this fight winds up playing close, man, Zahabi might be able to pull out a decision here, because he's done it against a lot of very good strikers. O'Malley's recent performances, the 2 losses to Dvalishvili, but outside of that, he gets wins against Aljo, Vera, and Song in a very close fight. But his last 3 fights have been underwhelming. The Song Yadong fight was a 50-50 fight, and then the Dvalishvili losses weren't great, but, against a tough opponent. And then before that, he beat Marlon Vera, who didn't even show up and didn't even fight. So I kind of feel like O'Malley's, momentum is just kind of neutral here, even though he is coming off a win, while Zahabi, on the other hand, is on a 7-fight win streak. But it's same thing with him, right? The Aldo fight could have went either way. The Marlon Vera fight wound up being a split decision, very close, Even the Pedro Munoz fight was underwhelming, as was the Javid Basharat fight. So I don't know, man. And even the Basharat fight where he cashed at plus 550. I mean, that fight could have went either way. It was extremely close. So he's just very good to the decision. 6-1 to the decision, 2-0 to the sub, 6-1 to the knockout. So this guy can win minutes and moments on the feet. You can unshare the screen, Brady. Yeah, I mean, I think that the line is wide, considering that these guys are going to strike, and they're both very good at that. And that while O'Malley's metrics look better on paper, I think Zahabi's just really a smart, educated fighter that knows how to keep things close while looking to do just a little bit more on the judges' scorecards to get his hand raised. So maybe a Zahabi what's the points handicap here?
I don't know.
Let me look. Bet online. Yeah, plus 130 for Zahabi. It's not great, but it's plus money. And what do they have the fight goes here at? The fight goes is minus 160. So they're saying it sees the scorecards at least 6 out of 10 times. They're probably giving O'Malley most of the finish upside, as his finish only prop is minus 450. So yeah, Zahabi's money line plus 325, and his decision prop is only plus 475. So yeah, they're basically keeping those very close to each other because they know Aiemann doesn't have a lot of finish upside here. But at plus 325 on the money line, maybe it might not be a bad look, or something like Zahabi by split, which would be plus 1,300. Or how about Sean O'Malley by split at plus 1,000 in what might be a very close fight, like the Song Yadong fight?
Jeez. I don't think the fight's going to be close personally, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I feel like it's a get right spot for O'Malley, and I know he's coming off a win, but there's no hype on O'Malley anymore, Weezy. The hype's completely dead, completely gone. At his last press conference, he got asked 0 questions. All the questions went to like Josh Hokit.
Oh wow, yeah. See, that's a big deal. That does mean something, because like O'Malley's always been one of the bigger personalities in the sport, one of the more flamboyant fighters. Yeah, and now, like, if you have to share that dais with Josh Hokit, it's like, good luck getting a word in edgewise.
I know, it was crazy. Like, he got asked 0 questions. The hype is dead on O'Malley, but I mean, he fought Song Yadong, Rob Dvalishvili twice. I think this is gonna probably be his easiest fight since, like, I don't know, like Aurelian Paiva maybe. So I think it's a spot where he can go out there and probably style here. He's not going to worry about somebody wrestling him for a very long time. So yeah, O'Malley, but yeah, minus 425. I don't know. For me, it's like, does he win by decision, or does he knock out Zahabi? I think the knockout could be live. Like, Zahabi got dropped by Vera, got dropped very bad by Jose Aldo. He's like 38.5. And if you're O'Malley, you should be probably knocking this guy out. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It's definitely a wide line. I have a little Sean minus 350. There you go. He beat some line movement there. Zahabi might be our best fighter. Oh, gosh. Yeah, he keeps getting it done. Keeps getting it done. Crazy. What's up, AJ? Brady Lewis Hokit is minus 139 on DK. That's insane.
Yeah, that's a great parlay.
I already have like almost 8 units combined on those fights already, but if I didn't, I would be adding that parlay. That's a really good parlay. I like both those spots a ton, actually. Did they just put this fight on the card just to get an American to win? I think so. I was shocked when they saw Zahabi was on the card. It made no sense to me. I max bet 5 units on Ilia inside the distance plus Sean KO decision. That came out to minus 115. That's a good look. Mm-hmm. Also threw 2 units at Ilia rounds 1 or rounds 2 plus Sean round 3 KO or decision at plus 280. I think we must hammer this 2 fights and go lighter on the rest. Yeah, I don't have any action on this O'Malley fight yet. I don't know if I will either. Unless Zahabi uses extreme pressure and mixes everything up, I don't see a path for him. I can't see him winning minutes or moments here. Yeah, it's going to be tough. Don't forget O'Malley sucks. Zahabi could win. I don't think it's fair to say O'Malley sucks. His last 2 losses are against Marab. Zahabi decision. Yeah, it's a big price. What'd you say it was?
The Zahabi decision was 475 on Bet Online.
Yeah. He's probably going to end up being 475 by the time this fight kicks off, though. I bet money's going to come in on O'Malley.
Yeah.
Zahabi decision, win on the White House lawn. No, thank you. The judges like him, though. Like, he won a very close fight against, what's his face? Basharat. And even his last fight, Vera was close. Aldo was very close. Yeah, he's been in some very close. Even like the Munoz fight was like kind of close. He's been in a lot of close fights. The Tercios fight was not close because Tercios, I don't know what the hell he was doing. Free money minus 160. Fight goes to decision. End split. Yeah, end split could be in play. O'Malley is a chump on the mic. To be fair, yeah, he's not good on the mic. So that's a good point. Light work for O'Malley, 30-27. There's a guaranteed 3 American winners on this card, I believe. I think I'm picking 2. Let's see. Bo Nickal, American. Steve Garcia's American, but I'm not picking him. Michael Chandler's American, but I'm not picking him. Hokit's American. Yeah, I think 3. Should be 3, at least. All right, it is now time for the co-main event. If you guys have not already, be sure to smash the like button for us. Let's try to get at least, we got 150 likes and I'll put the wig on, but maybe we can do even more. Is that true, Weezy? Somebody said that. Are they actually doing $1 million bonus?
I have not heard that.
I heard. I don't know if it's true or not, but yeah, I've seen people talking about that. If there's $1 million bonus, I'm betting overs is going to be even more terrifying.
Yeah.
$1 million?
Yeah, $1 million bucks. I mean, like you've got to go for that.
I guess is it? Oh my gosh. $1 million.
Wow. I don't know if that's official yet. Oh my God, it must be official.
I'm gonna rip up my over ticket. Gosh. Well, maybe my guys probably won't care as much about $1 million because they're probably getting paid a lot, especially Alex Pereira. So maybe I'll be okay here because I have the over in this fight here. It's Alex Pereira versus Cyril Gane. We have Alex Pereira, 38 years old, 6'4", with a 79-inch reach. Cyril Gane, 36 years old, 6'4", with an 81-inch reach. We got Gane 2 years younger, same height, 2-inch reach advantage. Pereira is 4-1 in his last 5 fights. Knocked out Jamal Hill round 1. Knocked out Yuri Prochazka round 2. Knocked out Khalil Roundtree, I think, round 4. Lost to Magomed Ankalaev and then knocked out Magomed Ankalaev in the rematch. As far as Cyril Gane, 3-1-1 no contest in his last 5 fights. Knocked out Tai Tuivasa. Got submitted by John Jones. Knocked out Sergey Spivak. Beat Alexander Volkov by decision. And then there's that no contest against Tom Aspinall. So weird fight here because I'm a big fan of Alex Pereira. How can you not be? This guy's a fan favorite. People love this guy. He's extremely exciting. He's a finisher. He's a very fun fighter. He's a guy you want to get behind. And he's looking to become a 3-division champion. So a lot of things to like about Alex Pereira. And as far as Cyril Gane, I don't like Cyril Gane, man. I don't like his fighting style. I think he's extremely boring. I think his fights stink. But he's really, really good. I mean, Cyril Gane's an incredible heavyweight fighter. He has, these attributes and traits that you don't see out of 95% of the heavyweights. He has 5-round cardio. He's extremely quick, phenomenal footwork. He's durable. He has solid offensive grappling. The defensive grappling, I still think is a major hole, but that's not going to be tested here. But yeah, Cyril Gane's a very good fighter, and I have question marks like, what is Alex Pereira going to look like at heavyweight? He's and what's he going to weigh in at? Like, there's some pictures circulating, man. I mean, Alex Pereira is looking really thick. I don't know if these pictures are like AI generated or what, but I mean, he's looking really, really thick in there. So is that going to affect the speed? Is that going to affect what's the power going to look like up at this weight class? Like, what's Alex Pereira going to look like as a heavyweight? I don't know. It's an interesting fight. So what are your thoughts on this one, Weezy? How do you think it goes? I think you're muted though. I still think you're.
No, I am, and I had to switch screens because I was already full screen on the slides. So yeah. So yeah, I mean, like, I don't know, and neither does the market because the market's got it priced pretty much as a pick'em here. When we talk about the trends and stuff, Cyril is almost 3 years younger, and they're pretty much the same size and a 2-inch reach advantage for Gane. Experience, very much the same, only Gane has been the more active fighter overall as a professional, but it's been Pereira who's been a lot more active at the UFC level. Similar layoffs for both guys, similar amount of UFC experience. Strength of schedule, I've got Cyril Gane ranked number 1 in the division out of 50. And I've got Alex Pereira ranked number 5 in the 205-pound division, but some of his strength of schedule rankings go back to 185. So this is his first fight in the heavyweight division, but both of these guys obviously are facing top-notch strength of schedule. So while it's a little bit better on paper, there's not really an advantage there. Distance striking, both of these guys throw almost the exact same amount of volume. They're within 1% of each other in accuracy. But it's Gane who has the positive 3.11 distance striking differential, and it's just because he takes a lot less damage. He's only absorbing 2.65 significant strikes per minute, while Pereira is absorbing 4.12. So I think Gane's defensive ability, his footwork, his range management, and his speed are all going to be a little bit much for Pereira, but we don't really know that because Pereira is used to fighting the faster guys, right? especially down at middleweight. So that's going to be interesting to see, how much Gane's speed bothers somebody like Pereira, who's actually fighting down 2 weight classes and down 1 weight class, where he's more likely to see people with some kind of athletic gifts like Cyril Gane has. Grappling, I don't think any, like maybe Gane has a little bit of upside here, but I wouldn't count on it. ROI, phenomenal numbers for Pereira. 61% ROI over 12 UFC fights. And both of these guys are 10-2 over 12 UFC fights. But Gane has a no contest, and he's got a little bit lower ROI because of that, because he's been priced up a little bit higher and because he has 1 extra fight than Pereira does. But both of these guys are doing a solid job of outperforming the market's expectations. But I think it's good to note that when Alex Pereira has been shorted by the market, when he's been priced as either a pick'em or an underdog, he's gone 4 wins and 1 loss with almost a 100% ROI. And when he's priced as a favorite, he's also been very reliable there. So I would say that Alex has done a better job of outperforming the market expectations. He's coming off a really impressive win in his last fight, but he looked like trash in the first Ankalaev fight. So kind of hard to know, which version we're going to get, because we got 2 different versions of Alex Pereira in 2025. The one we saw in March was awful. The one we saw in October was fighting with a lot more urgency and a lot more aggression, and it paid off almost immediately. So we're going to see if we see that same version of Alex Pereira. And yeah, a 51% ROI over the last 4 fights. And outside of the Roundtree fight where he was minus 460, he's returned pretty good here, minus 157, minus 129, plus 195 against Ankalaev in the rematch. So good recent form here for Alex Pereira. And then Gane's coming off the no contest, but prior to that, he had 1 in 3 of 4 fights. So that was a pretty good stretch going into the Aspinall fight. And being a plus 310 underdog in the Aspinall fight and outperforming that number while the fight still did go on, I think looks pretty good for him. And I think that's why people think he's going to perform pretty well against Pereira. 10 wins and 1 loss to the decision and the KO combined. And he's 3-1 to the sub. He doesn't have to really worry about getting subbed here. So, yeah, I think there's a lot of things to like on the Gane side. And the recent form, once again, looking pretty good here. But he did lose to John Jones and outperformed his price tag versus Aspinall, but that fight was a no contest. And then, he did not live up to the minus 370 price tag in the Volkov fight, but he looked great against Spivak, that's for sure. And then he ran through Tuivasa, but that's the only fight we've actually really seen him get clipped, but right around even with the ROI, because he's 3 wins and 1 loss with a no contest over that 5-fight stretch. So yeah, you can remove the screen here, and yeah, so I kind of like Gane to potentially win more minutes in this fight, but I think the line is right where it should be, because it's a striker versus striker matchup, and I think Pereira is probably going to be the best striker that Cyril Gane has ever seen outside of John Jones.
Yeah, I don't really like a side here, but I did bet the over, Weezy. I don't usually bet overs. Like, the last over I bet was Paul Craig Modestas Bukauskas, and believe it or not, that fight finished. Yeah, a Modestas Bukauskas fight finished in the first round. It was cruising over.
Yeah,
Modestas takes down Craig with 10 seconds left, lands 1 elbow, and the fight gets stopped after the bell. That's the last time I bet an over, and I'm on the over here. I got it, I think, like minus 122. Just because Gane is he's going to make this, I think, a frustrating fight, at least early for Pereira. He's going to use that footwork, use that movement, and he's extremely smart. He's not going to go in there and give Pereira much opportunities. I could see this fight definitely finishing later, especially if Pereira, starts to walk him down, land those big leg kicks. But I think it's going to get extended here, potentially even go the distance even. So I'm on the over, and I'll leave it at that. I think I slightly lean Gane just because I think he's going to be the better minute winner, but I think the better moment winner is going to be Pereira for me. And I just don't know how Pereira is going to look at heavyweight. We'll have to see. I'm very intrigued for it. What would make you feel dirtier, betting Gane or banging Verna? I mean, definitely banging Verna. I mean, that's absolutely.
We're both betting men. So,
Yeah.
banging Verna is going to make us feel a lot dirtier.
Yeah, I'm not gonna bet Gane. I'm rooting for Pereira because I was really mad when I saw Gane was on this card. It's like, really? Why? Why is Cyril Gane on this card? Why is Aiemann Zahabi on this card? But it is what it is. Poton looking like 2 honey buns. Yeah, some of these pictures I've been seeing, like I hope they're AI. I think some of them have to be AI. $1 million total bonuses. That's a lot. It's a lot. All the muscle seems to be going to Alex's legs and his bakery. That's wild. That's wild. I think the leg kicks will be the deciding factor. They could be. They could be. And it'd be smart to kick the legs of Gane, or at least try to. Cyril Gane. Yep, Cyril Gane. I like the overs, but the bonuses are worrying me a bit too. Yeah, but I mean, these guys are gonna make more than $1 million to win the fight. So Cyril Gane, yep. Alex or Cyril KO more likely. I'd say Alex, unless like the move to heavyweight's like really affecting him, and he like all of a sudden doesn't have like 5-round cardio. But I think Alex definitely hits harder. He's a lot more dangerous. Prayer first triple champ. Let's go. Let's get it.
Yeah.
Let's get it. Let's go. Let's go. All good, man. All good. Graphics sick. Yeah, they are. I hate to say it. I think Gane is just too quick for Alex. Can Cyril Goon? What? Get the eye poke. That's a good point. Can you get the eye poke game going nice and early?
You never know.
Proton KO plus 150 is always a must bet. It's only plus 150. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I could see Pereira winning a decision though, with leg kicks and big shots. So I would just take the money line, man. To be honest, yeah, plus 130 for Pereira by K1 Bet Online, but it's a pick'em. Pereira could win a decision here. I mean, Gane arguably lost to Volkov. Alex had norovirus and effed up hand in the first Ank fight. Amina Weezy actually cashed on Ank in that fight. That was nice.
Yeah. And then I don't think I got to Pereira the next time. I don't remember though.
No, I passed on it. Is this one 5 rounds? Yes, this is 5 rounds. The better minute winner is what my ex called me. Oh gosh.
Heyo.
Photon will chin the Frenchman. That'd be amazing, dude. Is Hokit next in line with the win? Hokit's, yeah. Hokit could be, man. Betting Gane while you're banging Verna. That's a combination. Got the over 1.5. Yeah, I was actually thinking about doing this too, Daz. Laddering the overs. You got to ladder the over 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, and goes to decision. But if it finishes, you're screwed, you know. So I'll just stick with my little over 2.5 and call it a day. Gunnar Gane. Oh gosh. Alex does need to wear goggles. Yes, he does. He absolutely does. All right, let's check the like count before we get into the main event. And we are at 107. Oh gosh. It's all right, guys. If we don't get to the wig today, I will be bringing it out on the Fight Companion. I'll wear it for the entire Steve Garcia, Diego Lopes fight, which hopefully doesn't last long, but I hope I don't go 15 minutes with that wig on. I mean, that'd be brutal. That'd be brutal. But yeah, smash the like button for us. Shout out to our sponsors, Underdog. Shout out to our sponsor, Big Brain MMA Discord. Go check them out. Links in the description for all that. Keeping the show alive. And shout out to you guys. Shout out to the donos. We got Forrest donating. We got Big Steve, who's also sponsoring the show. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate everybody in the chat. All right. What? Alex decisions plus 625. What?
Wow. Let me look at that.
On DraftKings. Oh my gosh. I mean, this fight could absolutely go to decision. That's crazy.
Yeah, I saw plus 600.
Wow.
All 6 of Pereira's wins in 5-round fights are by knockout.
Yeah, they are.
Wow.
But Cyril Gane fights are so boring, dude. I feel like it could go the distance. I don't know. All right, main event time. It is going to be Uncle Weezy's favorite fighter, Ilia Topuria, going against Justin Gaethje. We got Ilia Topuria, 29 years old, 5'7" with a 69-inch reach, going against Justin Gaethje, 37 years old, 5'11" with a 70-inch reach. We got Topuria, 8 years younger, Gaethje with a 4-inch height advantage and a 1-inch reach advantage. Topuria is 5-0 in his last 5 fights. Submission win against Bryce Mitchell. Decision win against Josh Emmett. Knockout win against Alexander Volkanovski. Knockout win against Max Holloway. Knockout win against Charles Oliveira. As far as Justin Gaethje, 4-1 in his last 5 fights. Decision win against Rafael Fiziev. Knockout win against Dustin Poirier. Knockout loss to Max Holloway. Decision win against Rafael Fiziev. And a decision win against Paddy Pimblett. Ilia Topuria. The line's actually coming down a lot. Whenever I broke this fight down like a week ago, Topuria was like minus 800. Now he's down to minus 550. Justin Gaethje sitting at plus 420. And yeah, it's going to be interesting. Apparently, these guys hate each other now. These guys are going back and forth on Twitter. I mean, Ilia's coming here, looks pissed off, and Ilia even like posted a kind of a weird video about Justin Gaethje, kind of like you basically you effed up, and he's going to finish him in the first like 2 minutes. Something about a rose. I don't know. I didn't look into it too much, but yeah, apparently there's some beef here, Uncle Weezy, which is always fun to see. Is it real beef? Like, is it real beef or is it fake beef like Sean Strickland and Khamzat Chimaev when they're hugging each other and kissing each other during the fight? I don't know. We're going to find out. But, yeah, I mean, for me, I mean, Ilia Topuria is incredible. His last 3 wins, I mean, that's got to be the best 3 wins in a row in UFC history by a freaking mile, knocking out Alexander Volkanovski in round 2, being the first person to knock out Max Holloway and knocking him out brutally in round number 3, and then knocking out Charles Oliveira in a couple of minutes. I mean, Ilia Topuria is a special fighter. I know you're not too high on him, Weezy, but this guy's good. I mean, this guy's a really good fighter. He's good everywhere, has a ton of power. He's a really good grappler, too. We haven't seen his grappling in a long time, but he's a phenomenal grappler as well. So, yeah, it's going to be a tough, very, 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 very tough test here for Justin Gaethje. Topuria's been off for a little bit, though. It wasn't as long as I thought. I kind of thought he was out for like over a year, and he's only been out for, I think, like 11 months. Topuria's been out, but he's been out regardless. Weezy, what are your thoughts on this main event here?
Yeah, I mean, Ilia Topuria, he's good, all right. Good at ducking Conor McGregor. That's all he's good at, man. It's just a matter of time before Conor gets his hands on him and slaps the little nose off him. But until that happens,
what's he gonna do there?
Yeah, I think he was going to grab him by the scruff of his chest. Oh, he was going to go bop, 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 like that. And then he was going to grab him by the scruff of the chest and slap the little nose off him. And then he called him, I believe, a short tickle. I don't know what that means. Maybe it's an Irish thing, but called him a short ass tickle. Yeah, you know, I mean, like you called it with if there's ever been 3 better wins back to back than what Topuria has done. I mean, I'm blown away by what this dude has accomplished as a mixed martial artist. Obviously, I'm kidding about him ducking Conor McGregor. I mean, like, cocaine Conor would get absolutely murdered in vicious fashion by Topuria. That would be a snuff film. That wouldn't even be a fight. So this is going to be a tough road to hoe for one Justin Gaethje, Brady. Really tough road to hoe here. But he's got height and reach advantages. Let's hope he could take advantage of them, because that's about all he's got. Because he's Ilia's 8 years younger than this dude. Gaethje's got a lot more experience at the UFC level and overall. And obviously the strength of schedule is going to be in the favor of Gaethje, as he's ranked number 1 in the division out of 103 in terms of his overall strength of schedule, while Ilia is ranked number 12. So obviously very, very good strength of schedule numbers for Topuria, but it's just Gaethje kind of came into the UFC already as stars, so he was fighting top-notch competition from fight 1. So, I mean, like a little bit of an edge on paper here for Justin, but keep in mind, Topuria's last 3 fights are against guys that have beaten Justin Gaethje in Oliveira and Max Holloway. When we talk about the distance striking, Topuria slight positive with the distance striking differential. Both of these guys have a ton of power, but 1.25 knockdowns per 15 minutes. a lot better than Gaethje, 0.74. And the distance striking differential a lot better for Topuria as well. And the defense is a lot better for Topuria as well. So the grappling, all Topuria. He keeps it in his back pocket because he doesn't really need it. But if he wanted to make this fight super easy and he thought he could take down Justin Gaethje, he could just take this dude down and out grapple him. So I don't even want to show any more slides, Brady. You can unshare the screen. I mean, we know what's going to happen here. This is a really rough matchup for Justin Gaethje. I'm sure he's going to go out there and swang and bang and look to find a bonus, but I think we all know what's going to happen here.
Yeah. And I brought that up in my breakdown. I was like, yeah, if Topuria wanted to, he can take down Justin and insta-tap him. And somebody got really mad. What do you mean? He's going to knock him out. I mean, Topuria's grappling is incredible. Like, there's a law fight, the way he flowed on the mat. Like, this guy's next level jiu-jitsu. Maybe it'd definitely be tough to take down Gaethje, but if he took down Gaethje and like got on top, like he's gonna sub him. But yeah, I think it's KO. I think they're gonna stand and bang. I think it's Ilia, probably KO round 1 or round 2. Little sausage. Oh gosh. Gaethje should just point down to the middle and hope something lands. Yeah.
Something's gonna land all right. I don't know if it's what Gaethje's going to want to land, but something's going to land.
Dude, tell me you're joking, because it's going to be probably the most action I've had on a fight this year is this fight. So I hope he's not reffing. I really hope. Is Herzog reffing this?
Peterson either.
Is Herzog reffing this main event?
I don't think they would know this that early.
Oh gosh, let me take a look. Better not be.
Did we find that information on a Monday?
On a Monday? I don't know. Yeah, there's nobody's saying anything about it.
Okay.
Somebody said breaking news: Jason Herzog unfortunately was found alive in his house today. Prayers to his family. What? That was posted by Johnny Penis UFC.
Oh my God, Johnny Penis, stand up.
He's not a big fan of Herzog.
I guess not. Jeez.
Yeah, there's nothing about him. Don't scare me like that. I mean, that'd be horrible. I mean, Justin Gaethje is a family.
I know.
This might end in the first real exchange. I mean, Topuria's power is ridiculous. Ilia is an old man slayer. Yeah, Gaethje's 37 and a half. Oliveira's like 36. Holloway's like 33. But an old 33.
Old 33.
Volkanovski's 36. Emmett's like 50 now. Yeah. Ilia's he's pissed, man. He's pissed off.
Divorced Topuria.
Oh gosh.
Could be a problem. Like divorced Dern. Remember when she came out there and just whooped on Angie Hill?
Yeah, don't mess with divorced people, man. Oh gosh. It's crazy. Justin was wrestling a lot in his embedded. I think he's gonna try to grapple. I think that'd be a mistake.
That's not going to work.
Yeah, it wouldn't work. If Jai Herbert can drop you, I think Justin might be able to. Is also, yeah, Justin does have a lot of power, but Justin really not finishing anybody in a very long time. Well, he finished Poirier, but outside of that, his last finish was Ferguson back in like 2020. Yeah, I don't know how does Justin win this fight. I think it's be tough. But Ilia in round 1 most likely. Yeah, it's kind of where I'm leaning. Coked out Connor, about to get smoked out there by Max. We'll talk about that fight in a couple weeks. He might knock him down and submit him to show Arman and Islam he's ready. Who the F knows? Yeah, I was surprised to see the sub prop so wide, but so Topuria by KO is plus or minus 235. Topuria by sub is plus 500 best price. Yeah, it could be a club and sub. We are max betting Justin Gaethje. Not me, man. But a lot of people seem to be betting him. The line's coming down. Brady, can you say 6-7? Nah, come on. Where's Dr. Peener where you need him? Yeah, I know we need Dr. Peener. Brady, we got 118 likes and counting, so that is really what matters. Thank you for wearing the wig. For Saturday for sure, the wig will come on for the fight campaign and for the Diego Lopes fight. 100% it's going to be on. Gaethje Rolling Thunder round 1. Let's go. 150 likes and Brady sings Sweet Carolina. you guys got some work to do. All right. Weezy went through, broke down all 7 fights, 2 hours and 15 minutes in. Not bad. I think it's gonna be one of our quickest shows ever.
Yeah.
But what we're gonna do now is we are going to come up with a piping of the week and a milking of the week. Last week, to remind you guys had Alessandro Costa to pipe Matt Schnell on site, which came through. The milking of the week was Brendan Allen to milk Edmund Shabazi. And what do you want to start with, Weezy, first? You want to start with the piping or the milking first?
Let's start with the piping first.
All right, so you're going to give 2 options. I'm going to give 2 options, and we're going to let the chat vote. So who is going to pipe their opponent on site? All right, what do you got?
Okay, for me, I'm going to go with a pretty easy one here. Diego Lopes to pipe Steve Garcia on site.
Okay, Diego Lopes. I'm going to go with the guy in the main event, Ilia Topuria.
Not a bad pick. I will go with one of the best options in Josh Hokit to pipe Derrick Lewis on site.
All right, Josh Hokit. And then I'll go Mauricio Ruffy.
Yep, makes sense.
I think all 4 of those guys have a good chance to pipe. All right, so we'll let you guys vote. Let you guys vote in the chat. Everybody get your votes in. And while we do so yeah, pipe as it, preferably a knockout. Yeah. Have we ever had a piping that ended in a submission? I don't think we have. Maybe.
Not that I remember.
Yeah, typically it's what's a good example of a piping? What's a good what Josh Emmett did to Bryce Mitchell?
Yeah. What anybody has done to Gerald Mearshart in recent fights.
What Drew Dober did to Michael Johnson. We're talking head bouncing off the canvas. We're talking like Kai Asakura, what he did to Cameron Smotherman when they don't wake up, and there's for a brief second you think they're not with us anymore. That's a piping, man. We need a piping, so we'll let you guys vote for the piping there. So you guys, why would we do the fight companion outside? Should we? I don't know. Should we? Let's probably not.
No. Well, you never know. I mean, you never know.
All the above and all the above piping. Come on, guys. Hoofy is the choice here. I got Hokit. Fluffy against the lids. That was brutal. Yeah, Hoofy King. Yeah, that was a piping.
Yeah,
absolutely. All right, let's see how many votes we have. We can wait a couple more seconds there. It's really not that close, so I think I'm just going to end it. But a couple final votes, guys. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. So in 4th place and 4%, Diego Lopes. In 3rd place is Mauricio Hoofy, 21%. Or a tie for 2nd place. Hoofy, 21%. Josh Hokit, 20%. And in 1st place, Weezy, the piping of the week. Your guy, Ilia Topuria.
There he is. Yeah, it's a tough matchup for Justin Gaethje, you know. We're going to have to wait, you know, for Conor McGregor to get in there with Topuria to show him what's what. But until then, I think Topuria is going to be just fine this weekend.
Yeah, like if it was Conor, you'd probably lean Conor's way, right?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, you know, he's super powered on cocaine.
Yeah. Hoofy, they're all getting piped. Yeah, we could get a bunch of pipings this week for sure. But the official piping is going to be Topuria to pipe Justin Gaethje. And it's going to be on site. And it actually is going to be on site, Weezy, because Topuria is pissed off. Justin Gaethje's talking about the divorce. Justin Gaethje's dad is calling Topuria short. Topuria's pissed off, man. Yeah, Topuria's... Topuria said he's going to knock him out, like put a rose on him, and then go up to his dad and say, "Who's short now, bitch?" Something like that.
Wow.
I know.
Well, I mean, he would, even if he knocked him out brutally, he'd still be short. It's just that you wouldn't tell him that, you know, like you would keep your mouth shut. You would keep it in your own head, and you would say, "Good evening, Mr. Topuria. How are you today?" You know.
I'm not telling Topuria he's short. I mean, that's something that our guy, what's his face, Barry McCockiner would say.
Yeah, he'd just call him a chump.
Oh, gosh. So, yeah, the piping of the week is going to be Topuria to pipe Justin Gaethje on site. Now it is time for the milking of the week. So All right, who is going to milk their opponent? All right, Weezy, what is your first option?
Bo Nickal.
Bo Nickal to milk Kyle Daukaus. I'm gonna go with Josh Hokit. I think he can milk him. I think it could look a little bit like the Freeman fight. I think the fight could be stopped after round 1 due to exhaustion. So I'll go Hokit. You see anything else here for a milking?
No, not for a milking. Like, I mean, I don't think there's going to be a lot of grappling in any of these fights.
Yeah,
I think we should give him a two fight choice, because we didn't get Hokit. It's either going to be Hokit or Nickal.
Yeah, we can't even make anything up. Like, I mean, if Chandler wanted to be a milking, but yeah, we're not doing that. And nobody would vote for him.
I don't think anyone would vote for it.
I mean, yeah, we'll just do those two. We'll do those two. So it's gonna be Bo Nickal or Josh Hokit. We'll let the fans decide. And while we do so, let's talk some Underdog right now. If you guys go to Underdog and use code DFSBTN, you'll get $50 in bonus funds when you play with your first $5 lineup. And if you go to Underdog right now, it looks like they have I thought they had a 40% boost. They'll probably bring it back. But yeah, is there anything sticking out for you, Weezy, on Underdog?
I think I would go with Diego Lopes less than 7.5 minutes of fight time, because I do think that the most likely way that fight plays out is an early knockout or an early submission for Lopes.
Yeah, I don't mind it. One thing that I don't hate, man, they have Hokit takedowns at 0.5. I think he might try to wrestle Derrick Lewis.
Yeah, and I just realized I should have said Hokit under 7.5 minutes fight time. I like that a lot better than. But if you're going with the Hokit takedowns, let's go with the Lopes. Or let me see, Lopes finishes. What's that?
It's probably something juicy.
Higher 1.07. And I kind of feel like if he does win this fight, it's going to be a finish. He's not winning a decision. He just stinks. Yeah. Unless he gets takedowns. I mean, but I mean,
if he gets takedowns, he's subbing him.
Yeah. So we'll do. Yeah, let's do the Diego Lopes over 0.5 finishes, and then we'll do the Hokit over 0.5 takedowns.
Yeah, I like that. I don't know why it said at 0.5. It is juice to the tits, but yeah, it shouldn't be 0.5.
Yeah, agreed. I think he does. Yeah, it would be stupid of him to stand in front of Derrick Lewis.
He's gonna run. I think he might even shoot a takedown with in the first 10 seconds, to be honest.
If Lewis hits him like Blades hit him, he's not recovering from that, I don't think, dude. So no.
Okay, so yeah, I like those. I like that. All right, if you guys want to check it out, use that code DFSBTN. Helps us out, helps support the show. We do appreciate. If you guys have friends, family, I'm starting to think you guys don't have friends or family because nobody signed up the last month and a half. Actually, no, we had 2 signups last month.
Okay,
this month we've had 0, but it's only been 9 days in. So if you guys have friends, family, loved ones, anybody, for the love of God, sign up and use the code DFSBTN. All right. Hokit can play with his food for a little. He better not, Andre. Nickal. What happened to the chat? To tilapia. The smelling salt. Yeah, the smelling salts are gonna get brought. It's gonna be a brutal night for some of these guys.
Yeah.
O'Malley could milk. Milky, it'd be like a standing milking potentially, maybe. What is the price for all the fights? I don't know. I saw somebody posted on X today. He thought all the fights are going to finish, and he parlayed all those up. I forget what the price was, though. I doubt Derrick Lewis gets subbed. Yeah, it doesn't need to be a sub to get milked, though. The first ever milking was Carlos Leal to milk Alex Morono, and he milked him standing. Love Garcia decision plus 550. It's a big number, and that's probably his path.
I think it too.
Gane is milking something already. He's going to milk the fans of boredom. I mean, this guy's so many boring fights. All right, so let's see what we're at. Yeah. In second, well, there's only two. In last place, Bo Nickal at 33%. And in first place is Josh Hokit at 67%. Josh Hokit is going to milk Derrick Lewis. There's going to be milk all over the canvas. There's going to have to be a big intermission. Milk everywhere on the canvas. Let's go, Josh Hokit.
Let's do it. Very good stuff.
To milk Derrick Lewis this Saturday. I like it. I think we can go do another 2 for 2. Josh Hokit. I like Josh Hokit quite a bit. And then Topuria, I like quite a bit. So I like it. I like it quite a bit. Oh, Milky. No, Wes Schultz should not have been on this card. Absolutely not. I hope this event doesn't milk our expectations. I think it's got to be a good card. Oh yeah, Sunday.
Yes.
Still not going to get used to that. I'm probably going to say Saturday all week.
Yeah, me too, dude.
So weird. Oh, it's going to suck me up at like 3 a.m. Sunday, 2 a.m. Oh gosh, it's going to be brutal.
It's not going to be that late, is it? I mean,
they're going to milk us. They got to get their ads in. A lot of people are going to be watching.
4 hours, maybe 4 hours.
That's what it should be. It should be 4 hours. But I can just envision the pacing right now just being brutal, but hopefully not.
Yeah.
There's milk. Milk everywhere. Oh, gosh. There's going to be. All right, guys, we did it. I think a record amount of time for a show there, which is to be expected. It's a 7-fight card. But going to kick it to Weezy. Uncle Weezy, let people know what you got going on this week and where they can support you.
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube at Uncle Weezy. You can find me on Rumble at Uncle Weezy. You can find me on X at MMA Weezy. And you can find me on Odd Shopper for my probability stats and content package, where you're going to get access to my subscriber-only shows, Balls Deep Breakdowns, where we go through the slides like we did here on Stat Diggers. Probability, where my best bets for probability over the last 3 weeks have been, something like 25 units on every fight, with a near 100% return on investment over those bets. So yeah, there's some really great plus EV betting stuff there. There's some really good full fight breakdowns, great statistics like you see here on the screen, fight write-ups, access to Discord, access to my track bets, $25 a month on oddshopper.com. And I've got other slides too, Brady, that are like, here, I'm going to show you something real quick here. Where would it be? Oh, crap. I've got some really nice screenshots of some slides, but I can't find them right now. I don't know what folder they're in. Like the folder that they're supposed to be in is like hidden right now. So anyway, we're going to be continuously upgrading the graphics of this show and my shows on Odd Shopper. So yeah, we're looking forward to stacking cash tickets like flapjacks on Sunday for the UFC Freedom 250 card, and join us for the watch along. We're going to have a lot of fun watching, betting on these fights, hopefully making a lot of money on what's one of the top fight cards of the year for sure.
Yep, hopefully we can make it the biggest fight companion yet.
I think so.
I think we could.
Sunday night?
Yeah.
As long as the NBA isn't, they're not trying to put an NBA game on against this, are they?
Let me see. You wouldn't think so. Because apparently people really care about the NBA. Game Saturday. They play
All
Saturday.
Right, good. Yep, perfect.
Yeah, that works out. So yeah, no NBA to compete against, so that's good. So yeah, check us out for the fight companion. We're looking to make it the biggest and baddest fight companion yet. I'm also probably going to do like a special 2-hour special before the card. Maybe bring on some special guests as well. Break it down the card one last time, and then maybe do like a Q&A for like the last hour because it's a big event. It's a big event. So do us a favor, like On Your Way Out. Subscribe On Your Way Out. Unfortunately, we did not get to 200 or to 150 likes, but we got pretty close, 121. We appreciate that. Shout out to our sponsors, Big Steve. Shout out to Underdog Fantasy, and we will talk to you guys later. See ya.